Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it's the three amigos, Barnes, Tony, Riley. How's everybody doing on this magnificent Monday, Tony?
I'm doing well, dude. It is a magnificent Monday. The sun is shining. It's cold out there. The company's here.
See, you said it's magnificent, but now you're talking like it's depressing.
No. It's going to be. I'm stoked to recap some great sports from this weekend, and by God, I mean it's going to be a good time, dude. It's going to be a good time. You know, I'm just excited to hear from Matt Ryan and the company and Lonnie and Kevdu.
Let's go. Let's go. Dude. How was your weekend, Riley?
It was a good weekend.
The weekend that was.
Had some fun. Watched some football. Ready to recap it.
Let's go. Let's go. And we do have a bunch of comments early and often. What do we got?
Let's get right to it.
Jump right into it here. We got Kevdu coming in with let's go. We want the smoke. I don't what the picks are this week, and it doesn't bother me. Glad I didn't make them because it would have been another 3-0 week, but I'm good with it. Hashtag rep the company, hashtag rep DTV, hashtag rep the sports sport. Keep slithering. The countdown has begun.
Oh, wow. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Anyone? Countdown?
The final countdown. I mean, Tony, you're usually big with the singing with Michael, no?
No. It's a great song. I love that song, dude. It's the final countdown.
At the wedding, dude.
You didn't sing at the wedding.
Oh, Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan coming in with I'm so done with Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Nice. We know this. Grand Rising company picks 2-0 going into tonight. Zach Wilson is complete trash and has ruined anything this offense could have been. Hashtag rep DTV, hashtag rep the company, hashtag rep the sports.
That's right, Josh. Pretty good job with the picks, bud.
Matt Ryan, he's hard
So
to bench. Zach Wilson, our season is over. Screw Zach Wilson. And then Kevdu was talking about the Super Bowl, the countdown to the Super Bowl.
Oh no! When he first said that, I thought he was saying Super Bowl LMAO because we at one point or another we said the Jets were going to be the Super Bowl. I thought that's what he meant when he said that. But
we did say that, but no, definitely the countdown to the Super Bowl. Yeah. That makes more sense, dude.
But
keep slithering.
You know, obviously we'll talk about all the games. Just a quick on the PGA Tour here. And by the way, I don't think we talked about this on Friday. That Tiger is going to play in the Hero World Challenge.
No kidding.
End of November 30th. So
That's
his first
awesome.
event is withdrawing. I think it was the third round of the Masters last April. So you'd think that would put him in position to play the Masters like he always does.
Yeah,
right.
I'm kind of thinking, I mean, I guess it just really depends on how this event goes. But, you know, last year, of course, he played the Genesis. But I would think maybe he's doing this in the PNC instead of doing the Genesis. I don't really know. It just seems like he's not going to play too many tournaments leading up to Augusta. He wants to get a couple in. But I think it obviously just depends on how he reacts from the injury, you know?
We'll see. This is going to be – it's interesting. I thought he was severely hurt, so we'll see.
I don't think we've talked about this, Riley. Where are you with Tiger? Do you like him? Have you always liked him? And you've always liked him.
I love Tiger. I mean, I missed kind of the his heyday.
Yeah, true.
Just I didn't really get to that. Like my kind of I know obviously not the same player, but I was kind of in the heyday of Jordan Spieth when he was young, winning all those. So I love Jordan Spieth.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of who I relate to. But I mean, Tiger's Tiger. My dad loved him. Always loved Tiger. Wore red. So. Yeah, always been a huge Tiger guy.
Yeah, especially later in his career after all the injuries, and when it seemed like he was never going to play again. Yeah. Anytime he's in contention, it's so exciting.
It's the best.
And you really have an appreciation for it. That Masters victory, that Masters victory always makes going forward, even though obviously more time has passed by, he's older now, but just because that happened, it's always in the back of your mind that even now, when it seems like it's the last thing on earth that would ever happen, it seems like it could still happen.
Oh yeah.
Honestly. What do you think? Do you think he's honestly?
So if I had to give a percentage on it, him winning another tournament I would say 15 to 20. But I mean, it's not 0. You know what I mean? It's just like everything needs to go right, Tony. Type
Right.
of deal. What do you guys think?
Oh man, I mean, obviously, yeah. Like if you were to win another tournament, everything would need to go right. I mean, maybe not necessarily everything. For me, I mean, his biggest thing is to be healthy.
Right.
I mean, you hear sometimes how he talks about how he physically feels, how he can't walk a course anymore. Like it's really sad to see. And obviously because of that, because of the back, the leg, the car accident, like. It just seems like that these injuries are being compounded, and he's getting older, and the thrill to win and compete is really it can only take you so far, dude. There are limitations for it, but again, I mean, if anyone can do it, it is Tiger, because he does have a tremendous will to compete, and he was at one point one of the greatest athletes, professional athletes ever. Like on the planet, dude. So,
and I think a couple of things need to happen. And for some reason, it just seems like because of his comfort level, with Augusta, that it would happen there. But I think it's like first round, he needs to shoot like 3 or 4 under par, and we need to get like a beautiful week of weather. You think back to last year's Masters, the weather was terrible. He's wearing the ski cap, and then he has to withdraw. What do you think, Riley? I mean, do you like kind of think what I think about 15-20%, or you think it's less than that on him winning?
I think there's definitely like a chance. I think, probably for around 15-20.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it happen again. I'd love to see it be a major. Really, I just hope that he's fully healthy and can play 4 rounds. Like, because if he can, Tiger, we've seen it. Tiger can do it, man.
Yeah.
So if he's healthy enough, if he feels that he can, then he definitely can. He's still driving the ball with the young guys. Like, still has the length. It's not like his length has really fallen off. He still has it. He can definitely still keep up with the young guys. So.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? And it'll be nice to see him play at that tournament in the Bahamas. One other thing, too, with golf, me and Tony have talked about this for a while. And, of course, I'll preface this by saying there'll never be, another Tiger Woods, like especially in our lifetime. But there's been a struggle just for somebody to have a consistent 5 to 7 years. We've had guys win multiple majors, and obviously Brooks getting his 5th last year was big. But do you think anybody like that's on the horizon, where we'll have someone who maybe has won 1 or 2 majors now, win 3 in 4 years or something like that? It just seems like there's been a lot of parity recently.
Yeah, there has been. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna take a really like up and coming young guy, maybe.
Ludwig Adberg?
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think like Jordan Spieth, like his run that he went on, I don't think we'll see really again. Like I would love to see a Grand Slam happen in my lifetime. I just don't think it's ever going to happen.
You don't think any way Jordan could get it done at the PGA? Or were you talking about seasonal Grand Slam?
That'd be nuts. Like that'd be like when I remember when he won the Masters, then won the US Open. It was like, oh my god,
yeah, he's gonna do it.
He could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see him winning the PGA too. Just the way he gained the form that he's been in the last couple of years. It's just not what he used to be. I can't think of a guy off the top of my head.
And I'm just thinking too, major venues. This year, it's Pinehurst for the Open, but what's the PGA?
Ooh,
look it up.
For PGA,
is it Valhalla?
It might be Valhalla
because that wasn't this year, right?
No. This year was
Valhalla Golf Club, Louisville, Kentucky.
There we go.
2024.
How about that, Tony?
Wow,
yeah,
dude.
what a shout.
Well, where's it gonna be in 2025?
South Carolina,
North Carolina,
Pinehurst.
No, Quail Hollow.
Pinehurst is this year's US Open,
and then 2026 will be Aronimink.
So then, really, the only thing we're missing is where's the Open this year? Do we know?
Let's look it up.
The weird thing at the Open is they just really like to have the same like 8 locations and just go around with it.
Yeah,
the
they
2024
do. They do.
The Open Championship will be held at Royal Troon.
Royal Troon. That's what it is.
Scotland's historic Ayrshire coast.
You know what I was thinking though, Riley? But a few years ago when Rory blew it and didn't make the cut, Portrush, they had it. They had never had it or not had it for like 50 years. Like that was like the one exception.
Yeah. It's I wish they mixed in more courses over there. I just feel like we always
there's so many that we've never seen. We have no idea what they are.
So many.
Royal Troon a lot.
And this has been a conversation with me and Tony, going back the last couple of years. When does Rory win it again?
Dude, I thought he was going to win the U.S. Open.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, I really hope he does. I like Rory. I think he can be a little annoying at sometimes, but I do still like him as a golfer. I think he gets one soon. He definitely does. I mean, all I'm rooting for this year in major season is good Sunday finishes. I feel like we didn't get one good outside of Wyndham Clark, maybe, but even then, like, it wasn't a battle down the stretch. It was just like, don't make a bogey. So I hope we get a good Sunday this year.
And when was the last time we had all 4 winners be guys that it's not like, oh my God, Brian Harman and Wyndham Clark won a major?
He ran away with the British Open. Like, that was the most boring thing to watch. So boring.
Yeah, like, you hate to like kind of put these guys down, but it just seems like that's definitely a one and done.
Oh,
like,
no. And then he did not play well in the Ryder Cup. So
yeah, exactly. And you did mention this, Ludwig Adberg with a dominant 4-shot victory over Mackenzie Hughes over the weekend at the RSM Classic at St. Simon's Island in Georgia. So a great tournament for him. 67-64. How about a 61 in round 3 and a 61 in round 4? Talk about finishing in dominant fashion. So that's a good way for him to end his fall season, winning $1.5 million. And then we're off for a little bit here until the World Challenge in the Bahamas, which is only, I think, a 16-man field. So they try to have all the top golfers, and then Tiger, if he's healthy, always plays. So a little time off here, and then it's just, I think, just the Grant Thornton, and then the West Coast swing in January.
Yeah, it's the best.
Can't wait for that. What do you think the chances are we get a perfect weather week at Pebbles this year?
0%. 0%. 0.
Because I really like
Rain?
it's insane though.
Cold.
I really don't remember ever
Wind.
seeing that course like with nice weather. Like, is there a specific time of the year that's supposed to be the best?
Every video I see there, it's
so dark.
Yeah, it's dark. It's gloomy. It's windy. It's cold. I've never seen like a beautiful day at Pebble.
Yeah. So that would be nice to see, just to highlight, the beautiness of that course. And I believe we had a couple more comments here. Something about a spam account with Tony and his shirt or something.
Stop it.
Yeah. Well, first we have. I think this is Tony coming in with
but I think that's Prefer.
I think it might be Prefer, dude.
With a LFG. Love the pink shirt, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah. And then Lonnie coming in with a
Chacho.
Oh, no, not that.
Chacho.
Comes in with a let's go.
Yeah, baby.
Good morning, guys. Early start today, huh? Giants win. Jets lost. That was supposed to be the other way around, but okay. Big Monday Night Football game tonight. Who do you got?
You find out.
Yeah,
gotta find out.
NFL segment, dude.
Hashtag rep the company. Hashtag rep DTV.
Thank you,
Yanni.
And then we got Josh B coming in with did Tony just compliment himself on his shirt? Certainly.
Yeah, I did.
Show looks great. Who's the producer? Your boy. What is happening with these doppelganger comments?
That's right, Lonnie.
Kev do good weekend for Riley. The Pats didn't play, so they didn't lose. True, but the Giants won, so it actually made my week because now we move ahead of them.
And then you can really move ahead of them.
Yeah, if we lose next
loss.
week. Yes, big loss coming next week to the Giants. Great production on today's show.
Well, it's funny how Anthony comments about the production, and then all of a sudden other people start commenting about it.
Yeah, you're a real trendsetter.
I guess I am. Thanks, Kepi, though. Really appreciate it, bud.
But we know what we have to do on a Monday here. Let's go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All All right. I mean, do we just rip the Band-Aid off, Tony, and just get it out of the way here?
Oh yeah, well, you want to go over that first?
First of all, because I saw a quick text from Jay in the group chat. Have you talked to him any further
Jay
than that?
Lopatelli?
Yeah.
No. But
Are you
he's
worried
down
for him a little bit?
No, I think he'll be fine, dude. I mean, he hasn't commented yet today, this morning, so I'm a little worried about that for him.
Because he always says, he makes his day around the show.
Yeah. But although it is 9 o'clock,
True.
It's early on.
You might not know.
So he definitely has that like 9 o'clock meeting, I'm sure, when he first gets to work. So, I guess we'll kind of see how it plays out with Jason today.
Yeah.
But I will shoot him a text, dude, maybe after the show if we don't hear from him today.
Yeah. I mean, just a real gut wrencher yesterday in Orchard Park. And the Jets, while they do score their first offensive touchdown since October, fall 32-6. Zach Wilson benched near the end of the third quarter. Tim Boyle asserted in. And throws an interception. Garrett Wilson fumbled on, I don't know, a couple of plays in when he did get in the quarterback. So unfortunately, that doesn't provide any type of spark here. And the Jets, who going into that bye week sat at 4-3, are now 4-6. And seemingly their hopes of a wild card have slipped away here with a quick turnaround. Friday game in MetLife. Black Friday against the Dolphins. And just not really much to speak of here. I mean, I think the Bills did everything that we had talked about. They had struggled to do, scoring points. How's Allen going to look? And he looked great. 20 of 32, 275 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, only sacked once. And then the ground, they ran for 130 yards. And the impressive part about that is, he throws for 275, 3 touchdowns, and Diggs only had 4 receptions for 27 yards. So maybe, he's probably happy about the win, but I'm sure a little disgusted with that. But as the Jets sit here, 4-6, tough game coming up. And, Salah for the first time really all season since Rodgers went down, non-committal on the starting quarterback for Friday. Where do we go from here? I mean, what is the magic plan, Tony?
There's no magic plan, dude. I mean, that's it. It's over. Like, the season's over, dude.
But what happens to the coaching? Zach, he's gonna play better.
The coach sucks. Doesn't seem like Zach's playing better. You lost Mekhi Becton. You have no offensive line. There's one, or you have one guy, Terrence something, I think, or something. Like, one guy was like an actual starting offensive line. Your defense is, I guess, is doing okay. They had a couple of blown plays yesterday. I don't know. It's like the Williams brothers were kind of tight. So
I think everybody was tight.
I know it really wasn't a great look at all yesterday for the Jets, for Zach Wilson. Really just terrible game. You still had Lazard dropping passes. You had Zach, some plays couldn't scramble, some plays had to scramble, threw it away, took a sack or just made a bad pass. You threw the interception, dude. It's not great. It's not great at all.
Is it bad that I still want to blame all this on Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, no, I don't. It's definitely not Aaron Rodgers' fault.
It's a reciprocal effect. Though. We can't make any changes.
He's going to be practicing on
He's
going to
be practicing, 2nd. But what does he preface everything by saying? If we're still in it, and I think he wants to return week 16 or whatever, it's like they're going to lose the next game. They're 4-7. Are they not going to be out of it by the time he's ready to go? You know what I mean? I think it's rigged though too. That he said that because he knew that they were going to be out of it. To be honest,
didn't everybody? Honestly, though, like that was the consensus, though, that they're not going to be in it.
Jay?
Honestly, no, like everyone really kind of thought,
no, even in all seriousness, I know you think I'm joking around here. I thought they would be at least 500 when he was ready to go, but now I think that's completely out the window. I mean, if you think about the game before, they should have beat the Raiders.
Yeah,
should have been
they should be the Raiders. They should be the Pats before that, dude. Sure, but I don't know, dude. I mean, it's just not. It's not in the cards anymore, dude.
But you know what I mean? Like, and even. Like Matt was saying in the group chat last
night. Yeah,
Jay
Bird, by the way, in the house.
Yeah, Jay Bird.
Bird
saying I'm down, horrendous. Twitter told me you guys started early. Parlay hit though, so let's go.
The parlay. There we go.
Shekels. Hang in there, Jay. Love a good parlay.
Making his Christmas list.
Wow, I actually have to do that. My mother.
Wow. I gotta
but
I gotta do that, dude.
No, I will because it's like college. No money. It's tough.
But Jay, feel better, bud. It's gonna be okay.
Jay, keep your head high,
And
dude.
I'm curious what you think about this. Like I said,
Wow, my mother.
Yeah.
It was a shit show, she said.
she wanted to. She was ready for that.
Yeah, she probably thought that last night.
But I am tight of Rodgers because Matt was alluding to it in the group chat because
Yeah.
remember Jay yesterday said who's getting fired, and literally Matt's like, well, no one because Rodgers wants everyone plays, and it's like I'm just so sick of hearing that, and I just feel like. Why did Zach play this long? Because of Rodgers. Why is Salah still the coach? Because of Rodgers. Why is Hackett the offensive coordinator? Because of Rodgers. Why is Douglas still the general manager? Because of Rodgers. Everything is because of Rodgers.
Do you think though that all right, let's say if Rodgers did play and things weren't working out, like you want everyone gone, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's
you still
clear.
want Salah gone.
But right.
and
I mean,
Hackett
do
gone.
any of those guys deserve to be in their job, have their jobs?
I mean, no, it doesn't really seem like it. But again,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've seen this, and I don't want to say I talked about it, when you guys were talking about just getting Rodgers, but Rodgers is that type of player where he comes in and he wants total control. He is very much a prima donna, and that was a big issue with Green Bay. He wanted to be. I know he said that he wanted to be included on the talks of bringing new guys in, but he wanted to bring different guys in. He wants to bring guys in. He wants his guys in place for him to be in full control and to run whatever offense he wants, to have the players he needs or he thinks he needs. So, I mean, at that point, you're really making most other positions obsolete. Like he is just your president, he's your GM, he's your coach. It seems like he is
like LeBron.
Exactly, dude. So obviously with him being out, your entire team was geared around Aaron Rodgers. So you lose him, whatever plan was set in place, obviously, isn't going to work. And then on top of that, it really accentuates and exaggerates the problem that Robert Saleh has. Which I feel like his level of coaching was even in question, when he first even came to the Jets. He was never really been a head coach before. He's a defensive-minded guy. You don't see that a lot in head coaches, I guess, now. And a lot of people don't like that because they want more of an offensive-minded coach who can score a lot, who knows what it means to run a good offense. And that's not Robert. So it's like, it's really tough. But at the end of the day, I still think it goes higher than that. It's ownership.
Woody.
He's
high in the clouds.
He's so high in the clouds, dude. Because then you wouldn't have hired Saleh. Like you wouldn't have had to have gotten Rodgers. You probably would have had a younger quarterback, a better coach, a more developed team than you are right now. Because I gotta say, I understand the team is super young, but they also look incredibly mature. The antics with Wilson has got to stop. Sauce Gardner getting aggravated too. I understand these guys are young and they haven't faced this much pressure and this much, I guess, disappointment in their careers. But certainly their lack of maturity is definitely showing. And of course, it doesn't help that they're not performing at all either. So it is, again, I feel like any other year, any other team, you would probably try a clean house. But I don't know, man. At this point, I think it is worth a shot to keep Rodgers around and keep everyone else around just to see what the team is going to look like next season. Because even sparing the injury to Rodgers, you still have a tremendous amount of injuries up front. Really, you saw when Tim Boyle came into the game. He faces the same problems that Zach Wilson does, which he has no time to throw. Yeah. No one's open downfield.
The pressure. It's like there's a Pop Warner line.
No, really though. It's really
so
bad.
Ridiculous.
And honestly, like Mike and I were talking about last night. And again, call us paranoid, apologist, whatever. But I gotta say, Tim Boyle comes in, and the first thing they start talking about is how there's no receivers open downfield. Yeah. And I don't know, do you think it's kind of fishy that no one, they didn't say anything about that when Zach Wilson's playing?
Yeah, no, I think it's just one of those things. Both can be true, Tony.
No. It is. I agree. Both is true. But all of a sudden, Tim Boyle's in here struggling, and it's the offensive line, the injuries, the receivers downfield. That was your guy,
Romo, or both of them talking about it?
Both of them, Romo and Nance. We're both like, this is, and then again, they go to replay. Romo draws it up. Look at all these guys. Not open, not open, not open, not open.
You're a big Tony guy, though.
No, I love Tony Romo. I do love Tony Romo, but I do think, it was just interesting. It's just food for thought. Just put it out there. You can think what you want. All right. But I just thought it would be interesting to come to. And again, it was just an embarrassing game for Zach Wilson all around. The trip, I'm sure you saw the trip. He trucked Saleh.
The trip was outstanding.
You think Saleh's getting X-rays today? You see his face after? He's like,
dude, I know. He fucking And also, like, he shaved. You see, he shaved. He must have listened to us. Dude.
Yeah,
He must have
superstitious.
watched the show.
Superstitious.
Shaved the beard because there's no shave November. You shave in the middle. Like that's kind of weird,
Yeah.
dude. You must have heard sports port. Like,
Yeah,
you're like a
dude.
fucking tool.
You think
with your
Zach
dyed
Wilson?
beard?
Zach Wilson might tune in too.
Yeah, probably. I hope he does.
I
Honestly,
feel like he tunes in. Yeah, because we might be the biggest show that loves Zach Wilson.
yeah.
You know what's tough though? I'm just thinking about all this, and it's whether it's Boyle or Wilson. There's still, like, you're talking about the receivers and stuff, but the fact that Danny DeVito or Tommy DeVito can throw 3 touchdowns, get sacked 9 times,
Right.
and then they can win the game. So clearly their offensive line isn't good. So why does it work there, but it doesn't work here? That's what I don't get.
Well, I mean, there's more factors. I mean, there's different receivers,
But I
different
feel like
play
their
calling.
receivers aren't even any good. They don't even have Darren Waller. He was supposed to be their number 1 guy. You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like, what?
I don't know.
That's why I'm saying, though,
Right.
like, Hackett's a fucking idiot. He
Dude,
really
honestly,
is.
I think it does come. Like, yeah, play calling has come to a factor because, dude, there was one play where I'm looking at the routes that these receivers are running, and it's just not creative. It's just not conducive to getting anyone open. There was one route where Zach threw it at a man who was running back at him. Like, what kind of route is that? Like, what are we doing, dude?
I just think the fact that you have Garrett Wilson, you don't just force feed him the ball is like,
Well,
like he needs more.
But the
more,
end around, the
more,
flea
more.
flicker, the Wilson
Yeah.
pass, you know what I mean?
I
Like, it's
know.
like
Just so much more.
But
targets.
I really think Nathaniel Hackett, he's like an offensive coordinator from 1995.
Yeah.
He really is.
No, really, he's so, like, he's not creative. He can't think on his feet. Again, you have these guys in place to listen to what Aaron Rodgers says. So when Rodgers not there, I mean, they can't think for themselves. They can't make decisions, dude.
Yeah.
It's brutal. I mean, clearly, Saleh isn't the one making decisions. He made that fucking obvious, like every freaking press conference in the past 11 weeks.
And then it's kind of interesting. Rick and Dave on DNR, Lonnie, we're talking about, you know, Adams next year, and like, oh, well, you just have to go for it. You have to give him a first rounder for Adams. Like, is that a good idea? Like, I understand how good Devontae Adams is, but especially, I mean, what are they going to win 6 games this year? Like, aren't you better off taking an offensive lineman than giving up your first round pick? I think if you had to give up lower picks, yes, but I don't know about your first round pick.
Yeah, no, that's not worth it at all. And again, Devontae Adams, I mean, he's another receiver who's, again, I get it. He's extremely talented.
Yeah. Diva.
But he's a diva, dude.
Yeah.
He is a diva.
The cameraman.
Dude, the cameraman.
What would you have done if he did that to you, though?
You can't do anything,
How?
dude.
What do you mean you can't do anything? No, I'm saying the guy sued him, but then he dropped it. I'm
Right.
saying, how much would you have held out for, like for the push?
I don't know, dude. Because again, like if you sue Devontae Adams, like you're probably not getting another job. Like
Yeah.
there's no way you're gonna be hired again.
But do you think he paid out that person something? I mean, he had to have known.
Maybe. I'm sure he did, dude.
Yeah, because he doesn't even.
fucking
I know he's a
should've.
diva, but he seems like one of those
Stupid piece
people
of shit.
that actually is like a nice guy, but just
yeah.
has that point where he just goes.
Just like
you
for
know?
the game, he
Yeah.
just turns on that switch where
Yeah.
he just acts crazy. Possibly, again, if that is true, I mean, good for him. And then I would want him on the team. But again, like he just seems like a prima donna, a diva, a guy who would cause more locker room problems.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be coming into a Jets team that is struggling and trying to figure out who they are still. And all these young guys around him, like, I don't know if it's that great, dude.
And the thing is, we don't have a second round pick. So honestly, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I would like to just go, you know, first round offensive line, third round offensive line, fourth round offensive line, and fifth round offensive line. Because
What
you know,
I mean, again, like the guys that are injured, are they coming back? Have we dived?
well,
deep into
Elijah
that?
Vera Tucker
Right.
is going to be good.
Becton
is probably gone.
Yeah.
I would think, right?
He
I
has
mean,
to be.
And I guess they did draft Tipman this year. Maybe he'll be okay. But most of them, I really think you almost want just like a completely different offensive line, honestly. You know?
I mean, that sounds good. I mean, again, like you would imagine coming into this offseason, I mean, you don't really want to change much. Quarterback, receivers, defense. So why not put all your cards into your offensive line here? But again, maybe you want to go out and get another receiver too, because you know, like you were saying, how are the Giants scoring?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot of receivers are kind of not that great for the Jets here. I mean,
Yeah.
how many times am I going to see Lazard dropping another pass,
yeah.
dude? Like
It's so annoying though, because I really liked him going into the year. I
I
thought he was
know.
going to pay really big dividends.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry.
Snafu there. But
Um,
red zone. Where's he been in the red zone?
honestly, dude.
I can't see
Right.
him.
And even like, game 1 against the Bills, like when Wilson comes in, like he started targeting Lazard right away. You think, all right, cool. Like rookie quarterback, veteran receiver,
Yeah.
like he'll help him out. And no.
Yeah. So, but I think Rodgers does have good rapport with him. Obviously, he has
Yes.
to catch these passes.
Right.
But if somehow you did end up with Adams, Wilson, and Lazard, obviously that would be nice. But we'll have to see if that'll happen.
All right. Matt Ryan's calling in. Are we going?
I guess we have to at this point.
All right, Matt Ryan, stand by. I'm going to put you through to the audio board here. Hold the phone, dude. Just 1 second. I can't wait to hear him.
Wait, what's that in the back? Oh, that's that movie.
That's the movie. Yeah, I know. It should be lowered probably, but connected to the Bluetooth. Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan.
Buddy. I told you.
Matt, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I told you I was right.
Are you in the bathroom or something?
Yeah,
You got an echo going
No,
on.
I just I'm in the kitchen. Hold on. I told you I was right, buddy.
What are you doing? You making breakfast?
I told you I was right, buddy.
I mean, yeah, man, it's definitely obviously a tough performance there from Zach Wilson and the Jets. But I mean, we've been talking it through. Honestly, like we've been talking now for quite some time about it. Realistically, Matthew, here, like what do you think the Jets should be doing next?
Honestly, they're gonna have to cut. I would cut Zach today. Just
So you want?
he's embarrassing. We're the butt of the joke of the NFL game.
Of course,
totally
of course,
right.
again
You're
and
right.
again and again. But do you agree with me? Or are you a little tight at Rodgers though? Because I feel like this is all Rodgers' fault. I hate Zach Wilson, but is it Zach Wilson's fault that he's playing, or is it Aaron Rodgers' fault that
I'm
he's
tight at
sticking
both
his
of them.
hand up the Jets' fucking ass?
Rodgers is a.
He's a loser.
That's why
He really
I never
is.
would have
Honestly.
signed him.
Yeah,
I
he
would have
is.
never signed him. I would have gotten Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Now our whole season is ruined by two people in Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson.
Yeah. No, but I
Period.
swear to God, it's more Rodgers' fault because Wilson is not holding a gun to Woody's head and saying he has to play.
I don't disagree with that, but I think Zach, with the backing of Rodgers, has some. If you bench me, I'll tell Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers won't play for you.
What is this, like middle school blackmail? I mean, come on, dude.
What are we doing there?
But
Matt.
no, but then I hate. Oh no, go ahead, brother.
No.
I thought you were gonna say something.
That was
Okay.
hilarious.
But also too that we're stuck with Hackett. Hackett's got to go. Like in Saleh, we really want Saleh as the coach. I mean, come on, dude.
This is so embarrassing that we have Zach Wilson starting. I'm sorry, but like Tony when Boyle came in, they came. It's embarrassing.
Wait, but
It's
the only thing is, I mean, it's probably too late. But maybe Simeon on Black Friday or no?
I have you
Black
have
Friday
to
deal?
inactivate Zach.
And
You have to
basically,
inactivate him. I'm sorry, but Zach Wilson. This is my personal opinion, has caused this team to lose faith in themselves. One player did that. I told you one player would do that.
and I think he's honestly caused a lot of health problems for Jets fans because it's just it's so ridiculous. Because you really do. You go into the game, you're like, whoa, maybe he can occasionally, have like a night. Nope, can't happen. Just can't. You can't have nice things.
No. I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
If I was Garrett Wilson, I would ask to be released after this year. I can't deal with it. It's either Zach goes or I go. So I can't be on a team with this schmuck as a quarterback.
Now, assuming that Rodgers is healthy next year, would you give, if you had to, would you give up the first for Adams?
We have so many other issues. I don't even know.
Like, I almost think it's not. I would rather have an offensive lineman. I think
you can't give up that first round pick for Adams, dude.
and it sucks. Though. I mean, you could give your third, but I don't think they'll take it.
I would honestly. Again, I personally, as much as everyone was excited about Rodgers, I knew there was something there about him coming here. If things don't line up the right way, I really think he might bail out after the season.
That would be
No
insane. That would literally be insane.
So what? You think he just comes out of injury and retires?
The way the Jets look, he doesn't want to play for that.
I don't know though. But he's not. He can't. He's not going to go anywhere. So he's just going to retire.
He could say, "Look, I thought I was going to a team that's contending. The team isn't contending. Please send me somewhere that's contending."
No. I do think he's going to stay. He's going to force his buddy Hackett to be the offensive coordinator. Maybe Randall Cobb will come back for his 30th year at receiver.
Jordy Nelson.
And maybe Jordy Nelson will be the receiver coach next year. I don't think he's bailing out. I
have a bad feeling that he's bailing out.
Bad feeling.
I mean, I don't know.
No,
right?
No. This can't.
No.
I mean, he may be a piece of shit, but he's not that big of a piece of shit.
He just seems like the guy that
Dark room.
when things go bad. When things go that bad.
Well times. Yeah. No, he gets tight. He gets tight.
Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna put up with this. I'm gonna go play for San Francisco.
No, stop.
No, I don't think he's gonna do that. I don't think he's gonna do that
with the Jets.
But
he's not
let's
going
just say
anywhere.
hypothetically, Simeon in starting on Black Friday, a little discount deal
on Friday,
and rest of the year we're sitting at 4-6 now. I mean, do you think we win 1 or 2 more games and are in the top 10 of the draft?
We probably won't win another game with the way the locker room is fractured.
Very
you
fractured.
already see it. What?
I said very fractured. No, I'm agreeing with you, Matt.
But I mean, that's to our benefit. I know we're tired of tanking and having high draft picks, but it is to our benefit to lose as many games as possible going forward. I mean, we're clearly not going to make the playoffs.
At this point, rebuild.
Yeah.
Rebuild. We need to I love Garrett Wilson. I love these core of young guys.
Breece Hall is amazing, but he has no room to run.
No room to run.
They have
no room to grow.
They're not going to be here another 2-3 years.
Yeah, I'm surprised Garrett Wilson hasn't punched Zach Wilson, to be honest. In all seriousness, because he does seem like he gets tight. He knows his ability and that you're getting the ball.
There was a play, too, where he was wide open for and whatever had happened during the play happened, and you just see Wilson just fucking tight, dude. And then the scuffle in the locker room and the scuffle in the tunnel afterwards, dude. Like, so unprofessional, dude.
They're going to ask for trades. I'm surprised.
They're not going to ask for trades. No one's asking for trades. I'm telling you right now, everyone's going to stay put for next year.
Yeah,
nothing
changed.
what it's supposed to. Yeah.
No. I do think, though, if these crazy hypothesis of Rodgers not being there next year, then I think they would ask for a trade. But barring that, they're staying.
And Wilson wants
which
to
is
play
still.
He wants to play with Rodgers.
Like,
he wants to play with Rodgers.
Well, of course he does. So everyone wants to play with Rodgers.
Yeah.
But because Rodgers gives you a great chance to win. He does. He hasn't. He's not even been. He hasn't even been a Jet yet. Honestly,
I think he loves being a Jet.
Yeah, he definitely loved the whole thing. Dude.
Do you think there's any way he holds their feet to the fire and says, "Listen, I'm coming back this year, but Zach's backing me up. I don't care. Tim Boyle can be the third string. You're not bringing another quarterback. That's it." Like if
I think he's already done that.
But like for next year, you think he's gonna pull that?
He loves that.
I mean, it's possible he could, but again, how far do you want this guy to sink his teeth into your team?
Yeah.
He's already in there. He's sucking at the teats.
But what are you gonna just waste it and then just say, okay, no, we're not doing that. See you later. Like, so you kind of
exactly. So you kind of have to. Dude.
You're backed into a corner.
You're 1 year into this. You had a bullshit, horrendous year.
Yeah.
Because of injuries, really.
I just want to say I wouldn't care at this point.
You said go.
Like,
no, that's a terrible idea.
You want to get rid of Rodgers now too?
Because then if you get rid of Rodgers, then you have to rebuild. Then you're going to be shit for like probably 3-5 years.
Either way, you're going to be shit.
Get rid of the
most likely.
After he leaves, yes. But again, you knew that was the case when he was coming here. Like, he was coming here just for temporarily.
But the problem is, why not just rip the Band-Aid off now?
Because then why did you even bring him in the first place then?
These core players are not going to want to play because of Zach Wilson. He ruined the team. I told you guys.
No, he did not ruin the team, Matthew.
He ruined the team.
You ruined the team. You did. You ruined it.
No, I would say it was a combination of him, the offensive lineman, and Nathaniel
The whole
Hackett.
fucking team.
And then
Stop
put
it.
Saleh in there. Put Saleh in there too. He's clueless. I don't, you know what I mean? Where's all the rah-rah
No,
from when he was the
and
Niners
I'm
defensive
just saying,
coordinator?
He's a fucking
Fuck
bum.
him.
He's a
Honestly,
bum. Yeah,
fuck him.
yeah. Fuck that guy, Matthew.
everything
Say it with us.
revolves. Everything revolves. There's a guy that has been through 2 offensive coordinators, who's been on the team for 3 years, and it looks the same. One guy on the field that looks the same.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. So hopefully
It's the one intangible that seriously needs. I would love to see him get run out of town today. I would love it. I would
No,
laugh.
it would be nice, but unfortunately, as Tony would say, it's just not going to happen.
It's just not gonna happen.
And as much as I would love to, oh no, were you going to say something? As much as I would love to pout about the Jets all day, we got to talk about some of the other games.
Yes.
But I do want to ask
Yep,
you
I'll
before
see
you
you
go.
later.
No, but Eagles, Chiefs. Who you got? Who you got?
I would the Eagles.
There you go. And that is
Thank you,
Matthew Ryan.
Always appreciate
Thank you.
it, Matthew.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bro.
Have a good day.
Nuts.
Don't touch my phone like that.
Don't sell my phone, huh?
Something
But yeah,
funny.
I don't think we can talk Jets anymore. I mean, we know what it is. They're probably going to lose by 3 touchdowns to Miami, Tony, right?
Black Friday.
On Black Friday?
Miami.
Or no?
Yeah, probably. I don't know, dude. That's kind
And then after
oh, wait,
that
Hill was Hill kind of banged up?
do we know about Hill?
Tyreek
Thorne?
Hill? Did
He's
he- did he
fine.
go to the
I
locker
think
room?
he's fine.
Bumps
With
and
the locker room?
bruises.
Bumps and bruises.
That touchdown
Uh,
was insane.
Dude, that
But-
touchdown was fucking
But
stupid,
it's kind of
ridiculous,
interesting. So after that
Steve.
game, they have 2 more home games, Falcons and Texans. If they get
Very
blown
winnable.
out by the Dolphins, though, I think the attendance is going to be waning for those 2 games, though. Especially if Boyles or Simeon is
Cheap
throwing
tickets?
up ducks. Cheap tickets, but then is it even worth
Cheap
going?
tickets.
Tony?
You want to
Yeah.
go early December? Great weather.
Cheap tickets.
I just feel like, though, isn't it going to be torture? No?
CJ Stroud.
But
you
you,
want.
the weather, though, you like being outside for that long. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe if we tailgate, maybe. We'll talk about it.
Why wouldn't we tailgate if we go?
Yeah.
Texans game, see Stroud. At least
Texans
there's
game,
talent on
Stroud
the
is
field.
great.
Falcons, I don't need to see Ritter or whoever Heineke play.
Heineke.
Okay.
Maybe
Heineke.
we can get a FanDuel box. You know, you get the in now with the
But-
FanDuel people, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll talk about it. But one thing I feel you could acknowledge now
Sure.
is Dobbs would have been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah, he
Dobbs
would've-
would've
he
been
would've.
interesting, but I mean, it's
yeah.
like, what are we talking about, though?
that game.
But a lot to get over from yesterday. Besides that, we had some tight finishes around the league. One of the more exciting games of the day,
Oh,
which
yeah?
I kind of wasn't anticipating. I thought it would be a blowout, but the Lions 31-26 over the Bears, coming back from a 12-point fourth quarter deficit. Jared Goff with 3 interceptions, but did throw 2 touchdowns. So they were able to overcome that. The Lions running for 115 yards on the ground and defeating this Bears team who was, definitely pumped up from the return of Justin Fields. But David Montgomery with that 1-yard touchdown run made it 27-26 Lions. They go for 2, Goff to Laporta to make it 29-26, and then get a safety on Justin Fields for our final score of
Ridiculous.
31-26. But the Bears definitely had a lot of life. The defense was playing well early before giving up 14 second quarter, 17 in the fourth, which does them in. But Fields looked pretty good, 16-23, 169, a touchdown, no picks, sacked twice, and ran for 104 yards. Obviously, that's been the key to his game. DJ Moore, 7 receptions, 96 yards. Obviously, at 3-8. This Bears team, has a lot of things to clean up. I would think they'll want to get rid of Eberflus depending on how they finish here.
Yeah.
But I've said all along, and I'm curious what you guys think. I like Fields. I think he's going to figure it out. I wanted the Jets to take him so bad.
Yeah.
And they didn't. I know poor record as a starter, but you see the juice, you see the athleticism, you see the speed. And I think he's developing a rapport with DJ Moore, who had 7 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown. Do you think they ultimately, decide to do that, especially with the fact that they have 2 number 1 picks this year? Or do you think because they're positioned so well that they're going to not be able to resist the temptation of getting one of the top guys in the draft?
I think they hold on. I think they resist. With Fields, he has the talent. You see it every Sunday. The mental lapses are still there, I feel like. if you look how he threw the ball in college, it seems like he might get 1 hitch, 2 hitch in NFL and start running instead of really taking his time in the pocket. But I agree with you. I think he's gonna be good. You've got to give him a little bit more time and maybe get some more pieces around him for that team.
I mean, Moore is a great weapon. Komet's a great weapon. Maybe solidify the running back position.
Yeah, bring in a young. I do like Rashawn Johnson though. I like this rookie.
Yeah. He's starting to get some work. He had 30 yards on the ground yesterday, so that'll be interesting. But I would think Eberflus gone and some type of offensive wizard will be brought in as the head coach.
Wow.
On the other side of things, could have been an embarrassing loss for the Lions here, but they go to 8-2. Goff had been good early in the year, avoiding the turnovers. He's thrown some interceptions lately, but yet, clutch down the stretch, has a great rapport with Amos St. Brown. The running game's been strong. I mean, I think despite the 3 interceptions, I'm confident in the Lions and Goff down the stretch.
Yeah, I guess so. Again, watching watching Goff, Jared Goff. I watched I watched this whole game on TV actually. I feel like what a Goff though, 2 interceptions in the first 10 minutes of the game. I mean, yes, obviously those 2 interceptions not good, but to kind of buckle down for the rest of the game. I mean, he did win them the game in the fourth quarter.
And there was only 5 minutes left when they had 2 touchdown drives. I mean, that's tough to do.
Yeah, literally. And one of them was like a 3.5 minute drive, 11 plays. It was quick. At least the other one was quick. I think the first touchdown was like a 35-yard pass too. It was a bomb. It was a great deep pass. Goff has that ability, which I think really, I think ups his value. You got his regular season stats. Definitely a lot on the interceptions. I mean, it's tough that he had 3 yesterday, but he has 16 throwing touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But he's throwing for over 2,700 yards. I mean, he moves the ball really well. And again, playing for Dan Campbell, you mentioned, Amon St. Brown, right? He's got targets. Even David Montgomery, I guess, is pretty solid too. And Goff is also someone who, when he needs to, he can kind of lower the shoulder. I mean, he's a big body too. He doesn't run quite like, Josh Allen or anything, but when he needs to, he can rush for a couple yards here, which is great. I mean, I do really enjoy the Lions improving to 8-2.
Unbelievable.
Really would never have guessed.
And what a good job the organization has done at identifying young talent. They're not all first-round picks. I mean, Goff was a bust. St. Brown, he wasn't a first-round pick. Laporta, Gibbs, obviously they did take in a first round. And then the same thing with David Montgomery. He seemed like kind of a bust with Chicago, and he's running well for Detroit. So I think they could pull an upset in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this was an organization that hit on a lot of their picks. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson is a dog.
My God. They were gifted him too.
He is so good. He is so good. And also, I heard a lot of people yesterday talking the Detroit are frauds because they almost lost to the Bears. I almost look at it opposite. You could tell this was a good team that was sleepwalking through this whole game. Right. And then at 5 minutes left, they said, "Oh shit, we have to win this game." And they turned it on and won in 5 minutes.
Crazy.
I think it's a good team that just played bad the first time. I don't think they're fraud. I think this is a good football team.
Yeah, and I also think too, it's yes, the Bears aren't a good team, but Fields, when he's got the run game going, it's tough to defend.
Oh yeah,
so I think you can't underestimate that. So they moved 8-2. A 1970s vintage game we had in Cleveland between the Browns and the Steelers. The Browns again with a backup quarterback, this time DTR drawing the start.
Crazy.
19 incompletions on 43 attempts, 165 and a pick, but the Browns win 13-10. They run for 96 yards on the ground. And just make plays late down the stretch. Kenny Pickett took a big hit, left the game momentarily, but came back in. Obviously has struggled all season long. How about 3.8 yards per completion on 15 of 28 passing, 106 yards. The Steelers ran the ball great, 172 yards to the ground. Jalen Warren had a 74-yard touchdown run, including 129 total on the ground in his first game as the starting running back. But again, the Steelers wasting a good defensive performance. And the Browns, they're the ones playing on their 3rd starting quarterback this year, and somehow they've won 7 out of 10 games. I mean, we talk all the time about what DeMeco Ryans has done with the Texans. Pretty impressive how Stefanski has kept it together after a rough season in Cleveland last year.
Yeah, defense has been outstanding. They've kept him in a bunch of games, even with the quarterback carousel that's going on. I thought DCR did enough to win that game. Like, I didn't think he made too many bonehead decisions. He actually made some good throws downfield. It looks like they're gonna go with him for the rest of the year.
Flacco, though, is
Flacco
going to be
this-
active next
they
week. What do you
did
think about that?
sign
You see that,
Flacco.
Tony?
For the Browns, yeah.
Broadway Joe, baby.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah, right. I mean, good. Like, does it make sense, or
I
like
guess.
just see how he looks?
I mean, yeah, I think it's worth to take a flyer on him. I mean, the guy's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Um,
Former Jet.
he's a former Jet quarterback. So
Super Bowl.
Throwing touchdowns as a Jet quarterback. I mean, that's tough to do. So, I mean, he has to deserve some credit for that, right?
Yeah, I guess, Brian.
How
I don't
old
know
is
what you're
he?
trying to say, dude. 40?
No,
40?
he is 38.
Really?
Yeah.
Looks like it could be 45.
Yeah. I thought, are you fact checking?
I'm gonna fact check.
Okay.
this.
Yeah. I figured you were going to do
You're
that.
right.
Yeah. He's on top of it.
No.
No.
It's 38.
Let me check for sure. But it is interesting. I mean, you would think there's just no way that they could really do anything down the stretch, just because in the playoffs, everyone's going to stack the box. Your defense and running game can only take you so far. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe DTR. If Flacco ends up winning a playoff game with the Browns, like that would be one of the more ridiculous
This season
stories.
is absurd. This
But it
season
could
in
happen.
general is
It could
just
happen, though,
an
honestly,
acid
depending
trip.
on the matchup. And speaking of the absurdities of this year, no one saw the Texans 6-4 after 10 games, but that's where they find themselves after a 21-16 win over the Cardinals. A Kyler Murray interception
Oh,
late
wow.
sealed this one for the
Good call back.
Texans. CJ Stroud turned the ball over a lot more than he has.
3 interceptions.
But threw for 336, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Devin Singletary, who had been the backup running back,
Oh, yeah.
but with the injury to Pierce, has filled in admirably. Over 100 yards yesterday, over 100 yards in the previous game, 112 to be exact with a touchdown. Tank Dell, has really burst onto the scene here. 8 receptions, 149 in the score. All of a sudden, the Texans here looking like a formidable AFC playoff team. And it seems like it's as simple as they're gonna go as far as CJ Stroud will take them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And it's interesting. I know, I mean, Singletary always has had good numbers, but I feel like when he was with the Bills,
They weren't giving him the ball.
you think that's
Josh
just what it
Allen,
was?
oh
They
yeah,
just did not
Allen
give him the
needs
ball.
to air it out. Like they weren't. I swear to God, they weren't giving him 20 to 25 carries a game, and I think that's what he needs. You look at it; his yards per carry has always been very high.
Yeah. I totally agree here. But like you said, maybe a little bit of an off game, for CJ Stroud in terms of the picks. But he still produced enough offense to kind of make up for that. I mean, 336 through the air. Obviously, the 2 touchdowns. I mean, I thought it was great. Tank Dell. You mentioned 8 receptions,
Yeah.
149.
Not drafted in the
touchdown.
first round again.
Yeah, he had that long 40-yard reception. Very impressive. And he was targeted 10 times, 8 receptions. I mean, him and Stroud obviously, have some type of chemistry here. Stroud still pretty efficient, 27 of 37.
336. I mean, nothing
unbelievable,
to
dude.
snooze at.
But Kyler Murray, I mean,
Not bad.
not bad.
Yeah.
But didn't you kind of
Getting his
expect
feet
more?
wet. I mean, they had a chance to win the game. He makes the bad throw. What if he didn't make the bad throw? Then they win the game. Then you're saying, he looked decent, didn't turn the ball over. I mean, I'm saying it's close. He's coming into a tough situation. He came back to a team that was 1-7. I mean, he didn't have, or 1-8, whatever. He didn't have much to work with. So I think let's see how the rest of the season plays out. I'll take him on the Jets in a second, especially if Rodgers leaves, according to Matt Ryan.
Yes.
I mean, give me Kyler Murray. At least he can move with the offensive line. That's all this time with a bad offensive line, and we don't have a mobile quarterback.
Yeah. That was another thing too. I was watching BYU highlights.
Oh my
Zach Wilson.
I was watching
That I wanted
Um,
to take my computer screen and knock it out, Tony. Because do that. But no, we can't do that with the Jets because it's the Jets, right? I mean, ridiculous.
Well, that's what I was
hurtling over people. I saw the
Yes,
same
the
video.
hurdle.
yeah, like
Yeah.
jumping
On Twitter?
over someone who's like 6'3". Like
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Disgusting.
Why
is
can't
what
he
it
run
is.
like that?
No, and you know what else I was actually going to mention now that you say that? You think about the parallels, the Texans, former Niners defensive coordinator, just like the Jets, number 2 overall pick, just like the Jets, and look at the difference. I know different players,
yeah,
but
I
I'm
think-
saying same opportunities.
I thought I saw someone from the company tweet that, dude.
I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah, CJ Stroud, rookie quarterback, with
Second
a rookie
overall pick.
offensive coach, with a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah.
Maybe the Jets didn't get it wrong. They just got the QB wrong.
No, Salah's an idiot, right?
I think Saleh
Yes.
is an idiot, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, Do we? What about though the fact that like his hands being forced? Or you still think like?
Yeah, shout out to
he should be
Jose
doing
from
it-
Brooklyn, by the way. He's
Oh
the
yeah,
one who tweeted
Jose.
that.
Yeah, we
from
met him at the
Twitter,
tailgate.
Yes, that's who it was.
But I mean, does he get a break for any of that? That Woody, Rogers, Hackett are down his throat for this Wilson stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
he hasn't wanted to play Wilson obviously in a long time. I mean, does he get a break at all for that?
Solid.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think so.
he just because you think he's not keeping the locker room together enough.
No, he's clearly not.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the team. The team's dysfunctional. Again, it seems like everyone has now abandoned the whole idea of a team.
Right.
You know, everyone's kind of in it for their individual self at this point. And I mean, that is Salah's point. I mean, how you expect, especially someone like Salah? I mean, you come in, we all watched Hard Knocks. You know, he's someone who tries to come in, lay the hammer, you know, be a man who's a coach of action. You know, he tells it like it is. These are the rules. You follow them. You do well. You'll get your part, whatever. And if he's getting kind of tossed around by ownership to be like, yo, start Zach Wilson. I mean, how do you expect to manage and govern a team when the quarterback is playing not because of your decision, because you're being told to play him?
Yeah, terrible power
If
struggle.
I'm a player, I'm going to lose respect for that coach. I'm going to be like, all right, well, like you can't stand on your own 2 feet. Why would I listen to you?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
And I think you see it a lot with Wilson, dude. Wilson's got a significant chip on his shoulder. He's tight that he hasn't been, you know, obviously, you know, winning. Yeah, he's tight that he hasn't been the center of attention, which he should be. He has the talent to be.
Yeah,
He certainly has the personality. But it's tough, dude. I mean, these players have to decide who they're standing with. You know, because if you really do believe in the Jets, believe in winning, then it's going to be fine. Then it's going to be all good. Like it's struggle now, but next season we got Rodgers back. We'll have a better offensive line. We'll retool. We'll be in this together. But it's it's a matter of feeling out that clubhouse, out that locker room, and see if those guys are really buying into this thing.
Which you would have a hard time believing that they're not.
You know, it's easy to buy into it during the offseason when you just got Rodgers and it's all hype, it's all cameras, and it's all media attention.
Yeah.
But now when you fucking suck and your season's over and no one's watching you anymore, are you gonna stick with it? You're gonna like jump ship.
And speaking of sucking, season over, Titans 3-7 after a 34-14 beatdown at the hands of the Jags here. So Jacksonville rebounding from that embarrassing loss to San Francisco last week. Trevor Lawrence, pretty flawless out there. 24-32.
Love Trevor Lawrence, dude.
262, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Could have had him if we beat the Rams. That was great. 90.8 quarterback rating. Does Zach even have that the last 3 games combined? You look at the running backs here. ETN had a decent game, but they had a bunch of guys, Bigsby, Johnson, and then Ridley and Lawrence had some carries, 128 in the ground, 2 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley definitely has been growing some rapport with Lawrence, 7 for 103 and 2 touchdowns. So a great job by Jacksonville here. Doug Marrone, what a coaching I keep saying Doug Marrone. I mean Doug Peterson. What a great coaching job since taking over for that disaster, that they had of Urban Meyer the previous year, winning that playoff game against all odds against the Chargers last year. They're well positioned here. And I know the big games they've struggled to, beat the top teams like the Chiefs, but I mean, it is all there, and you do feel like it's a matter of time before Jacksonville wins a big game.
Oh yeah,
yeah. No, I think you're totally right. We talked about it. I'm pretty sure. Didn't you fade Jacksonville on Friday?
No, Tony.
I think that was one of our picks.
Yeah, we probably picked Jacksonville.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you weren't fading Jacksonville. Remember I said Henry's washed. I did say that.
Yeah, we did say that.
Levis is okay, but I just think there's not much to work with other than Hopkins.
Hopkins.
No, I think he's still really good. I'll take him as an Adams backup instead. I don't care. Oh, he could play.
I care a little bit. I feel like in 2 years it's going to be garbage.
I mean, probably he's only going to play 2 years anyway, and that's it. So I was going to say though, Riley, if Belichick does leave like they're saying, you've said you wanted Vrabel all along. I mean, the way that they're playing right now, that doesn't change your mind at all.
No, it does a little bit. It does.
Okay,
it does. Also, as the year goes on more, it's like I really want one of those offensive wizards.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Could be you, dude.
It could be me.
I
could cook up a flea flicker.
That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, it would be sick.
What would you say percentage that Belichick is on the sidelines for week 1 next year?
42%.
Wow.
Tony.
Oh, what percentage?
Yeah. Belichick better?
Like 75%.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna say 41.5%. No, I mean it seems a little sketchy. I have to say,
I don't know,
Kraft's
man.
tight. You know,
Yeah, I'm sure he is tight, but I don't know. You don't get rid of that.
you think if
Coach, dude.
Belichick gets him a spa package, maybe he'll ease up on him a little
Yeah,
bit. Or
him
not?
and
I
Deshaun.
think that if you do get rid of Belichick, he's gonna go to another team, and he's probably gonna do really well.
You really think though?
I do.
I also
think
don't
so.
think we can get rid of him. Like he's gonna have to step down. Like it's
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, even if he does step down, I feel like there's going to be so many teams next in the offseason in the market for a new head coach.
But is everyone just going to say, yeah, be our general manager? Who wants Bill Belichick to be their general manager? And I know you're saying, well, maybe he'll give that up. I don't know if he wants to give that up at this point in his life. You know?
I feel like someone will work it out, dude.
Like, would the Chargers give him full autonomy?
Sure. Him, Justin Herbert, I mean, that's probably a good combo.
you see how they lost yesterday?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Quentin Johnson, their first round pick.
Speaking of which, yeah, 23-20 at the hands of the Packers. Obviously, Quentin Johnson with that late drop doing them in. And I have to say I'm riled because I'm going to be, at Lambeau, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So I was worried, the Packers maybe would be way out of it, but a win
They should have
here
been.
brings them to
Bullshit.
4-6.
Yeah.
I know it's not likely, but they do have a chance to upset the Lions on Thanksgiving. Then they're looking
That's a
one
fun
win
game.
away from 500. So we'll see. Jordan Love, one of his better games of the year, 27 of 40, 322, 2 touchdowns, no picks, sacked 3 times. They ran the ball for 102 yards on the ground. Aaron Jones leaving with an injury yet again. Seems like he can never stay on the field. Jaden Reed, the wide receiver, had a rushing touchdown, 3 carries, 46 yards, and also caught 4 passes for 46 yards. And Dobbs, 5 for 53 in a score. And Wicks had 3 receptions, 91 yards. So a lot of different players catching touchdowns here. Watson also had a touchdown catch as well. And it was funny going to this game. I stayed away from it, but I was thinking it just feels like the Packers had lost 2 home games in a row. The Chargers, a cold weather scenario, the way they down the stretch, I just had a feeling. And even though you feel they're a lot better team than the Packers, at 10 games through the season, they have the same record. So how is Brandon Staley not out the door? I know he had some tirade after the game, defending
Oh my
him.
God, dude. What are we talking about with him?
Does he
dude?
make it through the season?
I don't know, man. I mean, again, I think that the whole press conference there with him getting tight about the reporter about it's like, I forget what the question even was. But he was like, I already answered this. I'm not answering it again. Okay, I'm not
about calling the defense. Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be calling the defense. I'm sick and tired of this question. I've been calling the defense. I will be continuing to call the defense. And it's just like, whoa, like, dude, like again, like I understand. We see this, so often with teams who are struggling, whether it's players, coaching, whatever. The press conference, the reporter, you're getting tight. I mean, you just can't be doing that. It's just not a good look at all, dude. I understand frustrations are high. Like players, like everyone's been there, like at any level of competition. Like you've been in that spot where, like it's tough, but you got to kind of face the music a little bit. And like this reporter's asking you a question. It's his job to ask the question. Yes. You really don't know what type of rapport that the reporter has with the coaches or the staff, outside of what we see. But, it's still not a good look for you at all. It's not a good look for the organization. You're representing the Chargers and you're going to like kind of give this reporter a bad time. I mean, that's not good.
No, it's definitely not good. What do you think, Riley? I mean, do you think that the writing's on the wall, like before the season's over for Staley, or do you think they'll let him finish it out?
I think they're gonna let him finish it out. I feel like it's already.
Well, what
too
if
late.
what if week 17's coming along and their game is meaningless? Like they're going to can him before that.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Well, if I were them, I would can him right now because let's see Kellen Moore last 7 games of the year. Let's see what he could do.
Honestly,
Call Belichick.
Because the offense, it looks good. And I honestly, I mean, I know I think you're big on the Belichick today, Tony. Like that he has something left. I'm surprised though. I honestly would have thought you would have said, he's kind of washed up at this point.
I don't know. I still think again. I mean, I know maybe this isn't the greatest example, but I mean, look at Peyton and Russ Wilson.
Yeah.
I think you get a great quarterback with a good veteran head coach. I mean,
see, I think the thing for me, it's not the coaching, it's the offensive ideas and the general managing tendencies are just so bad. I don't see how that can work.
It's also why do
Yeah.
you need him worrying about general manager stuff like coach
yeah.
and a GM? I don't need both.
No, that's what I mean. I feel like Belichick would be cool with just being the coach, dude. I understand
no,
the
his ego
and-
is like,
Yes,
no.
But
Tony,
come on, honestly, dude.
the ego for Belichick is like
Right.
the drinking. Like
So Wait, what does that mean, dude?
like
Little
when we say
metaphor
the
for you.
drinking, it's the ego. Like it's like a big deal. You get what I'm
I
saying?
don't have to be drinking. You know?
I didn't say. Whoa! Did I say your name?
That's kind of.
I didn't say your name.
You
I didn't say your name.
insinuated though. Who you thinking about when you said that?
Jay.
Yeah.
But dead ass, like I think if the Chargers fired Brandon Staley today,
Mhm.
tell him Moore took over, they would
Right.
go 5-2 down the stretch and maybe make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I really would like to see it because I mean Herbert looked pretty good. I know 15 incompletions, but he throws the ball
he
right in
looked
the
good.
bread basket to Johnston.
So
Keenan
that
Allen
guy-
has over 1,000 yards already. You have Eckler. The talent's there.
So 5-2, you think, right?
Yeah.
So we got Ravens next.
Win. Continue.
Pats,
Win.
Broncos,
Win.
Raiders,
Win.
Bills,
Win.
Broncos,
Win.
Chiefs.
Lose.
So 6-1.
Yeah. No, if you take away the Ravens, 5-2. There
I
you
feel
go.
like Ravens 5-2. Bills could be kind of tough too.
Bills,
you never
but-
know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've shown in the past that
Broncos
they can
twice.
beat those teams.
Yeah, they have shown that they can beat the
I
other
mean-
teams. They almost beat the Cowboys earlier this year.
I just don't know what
They
like is
almost
going
beat the
wrong over there.
Cowboys. Yeah, I guess the Cowboys. They lost kind of miserably to the Chiefs. Tight loss to the Dolphins. Tight loss to the Titans.
Everybody's
Almost lost
tight,
to the Vikings.
Tony. Everything's
dude.
tight.
And it was a
Tight
tight win against the Cow. Oh, no, they lost to the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, it was tight though.
Yeah.
Tight loss. Yeah, dude.
Uh,
Tight loss to the
but
Saints.
I don't know. I think they're making a mistake, but that organization has never been run the right way. But
Never.
Staley should be given his pink slip today.
Yeah,
I don't think
like
he
that
will
too.
be, but he should. On the other side of things here for Green Bay, I mean, at 4-6, same record as the Jets. Obviously, you don't think they're in playoff contention. But what do we think about them just kind of moving forward? Like, you think they give Love another year, or is it really just all dependent on how the rest of this year goes?
I mean, I guess it kind of is dependent on the rest of this year, but I mean, in my opinion, I mean, that was the best offensive production you've seen out of Love, right?
Yeah.
Over 300 yards through the air.
Yeah.
Couple touchdown passes, pretty clean, no interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 16 touchdown passes on the year, 10 picks, so you'd like to
Oh,
limit that.
Really, dude?
But when you look at the game logs here, I think actually
Look at
that
the
might
game
have
logs.
been definitely his first 300-yard game of this season and
Mm-hmm.
potentially for his career. I'm going to just take, because I think he only had a start last year, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what we got here if it's going to show me. Yeah, so that's the first 300-yard game of his career. So I don't know. I think with a better offensive line next year, maybe a different running back too, because like I said, Jones keeps getting hurt. I don't know. I think I like Christian Watson as well. I would at least no contract extension, but I think give him one more year as long as he finishes strong down the stretch.
Yeah.
What do you think, Riley?
I think you gotta give him another year. We've seen some like flashes of good quarterback play out of him this year. We've also seen really bad parts of his game. But I think with a player like him, you gotta keep. It's kind of like Justin Fields. You can see that the skill set is there,
Mm-hmm.
and it has to translate from his brain to what he's like. He needs to read defenses better.
Yeah.
But I think you got to give him another chance because you saw what he did yesterday.
Yeah.
And even so, I mean, you'll get again the game logs, back-to-back games now with 3 touchdown passes. Also back-to-back games the first time this season with no interceptions.
Yeah, it's huge.
So I mean, I understand it's
No,
you know,
those are the first 2 games. Like 2.
Oh, I'm shocked, dude.
No, it's
Yeah.
all right, but
I was gonna say it was like LA and I was like, wait, that's not LA.
yeah, but I mean, it's a decent
The
game.
doofus himself.
I know, dude. It's what I get
The
for going
last
to
few
ESPN,
games.
dude. She went to Football Reference.
The completion percentage
Played
is under
ESPN.
60, so you'd like to see him improve upon that. But like I said, I think also for Jordan Love to be successful, the running game's got to be on. The running game has been atrocious this year for the Packers, so it'll be interesting to see what they do at that running back position. And just looking around the league, some other games here. Miami, Tony, held on late against Aiden
Dude.
O'Connell and the Raiders.
What a game.
20-13. You caught most of this or red zone or what?
Red zone.
Red zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So Tua 325, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, only sacked 1 time. Tyreek Hill, who did leave with an injury, but we believe he's okay. 10 for 146 in the score. And also Jalen Waddle, 4 for 55. So the Dolphins go to 7-3 here. The Raiders lose their first game under interim head coach Antonio Pierce, go to 5-6. Aiden O'Connell, 3 interceptions. And once again, not able to run the ball here. Jacobs completely bottled up, 14 carries for 39 yards. Devontae Adams catching his first touchdown since week 3, 7 for 82. Do we take anything away from this? Like, just going into this, it's a home game, it's west to east, that you would have thought Miami, Tony, is going to blow them out by a couple touchdowns? Or do you think win's a win, you're 7-3, and it's on the Black Friday?
Yeah, no, I think I totally agree here. So I'm just trying to look up some injury report here
on Hill. I'm not even seeing anything on ESPN.com.
I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
gets back involved in the game. Injuries. Arcane headed to the locker room. Know that.
Yeah, I think he's good. Yeah,
holding his arm
or A-Chain. A-Chain left, came back, injury again.
Yeah.
You got to get the feeling now that he's going to be done for the year. I mean, multiple knee injuries. You know, he doesn't even last a quarter when he comes back. That's not good.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, not good at all. And at this point, yeah, you would expect him to remain, or Hill to remain healthy. And again, with a man like that on the field, who's just so freaking explosive in his speed, it's kind of ridiculous.
But do you feel like, you know, until they beat a good team, I mean, the thought is going to be come playoff time, I mean, it's going to be a quick exit for Miami.
Yeah, I guess if you're thinking that, again, I know they really haven't proved it much this season. Again, losing to big teams. You mentioned they lost to the Jags. The Eagles, we watched them kind of get blown out a little bit. The Bills, of course, too. Yeah, I mean, you know, you look at any one of these teams that they face, the teams that they've beaten too. I mean, it's not, again,
they're all garbage teams.
Yeah, Raiders tight. Dolphins, I guess when they played the Pats, they kind of blew them out. That's fine. They played the Giants, they kind of blew them out. They played the Panthers, blew them out.
Best team they beat was the Broncos.
Beat the Broncos, blew them out.
And the rest of the way, I mean, I guess,
doesn't really mean anything,
you know, last 3 games of the season, Cowboys, Ravens, Bills, those are some tests. So, you know, I think it would be a statement, especially if they won 2 out of 3, or God forbid, all 3 of those games.
I know. God forbid.
Well, yeah, we don't like Miami, Tony.
I know, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I just think, even if they don't really beat any of these big teams, I mean, you would imagine down the stretch of the season, if they're making the playoffs, they're gonna need to beat the Cowboys, the Ravens, or the Bills.
Like they've already beaten the Bills. Or no, they lost to the Bills. But I could see them beating the Bills.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna get demolished by the Ravens just because, like, the physicality of the game. And I know, yes, I'm not, but I've just seen it too many times defensively. I like them. I just don't like the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a tough matchup. And then the Cowboys, I mean, I have to side with Dallas. I think Dallas, you know, will be able to keep them at bay. But we'll have to see. And I mentioned this earlier. How about Tommy DeVito yesterday, Tony? 246 through the air, 3 touchdowns, sacked 9 times, but was able to have a quarterback passer rating of 137.7. Darius Slayton, 4 for 82 in his score. Saquon Barkley, 83 on the ground, and 2 receiving touchdowns, 4 for 57. The Giants sacked Howell 4 times, Tony, and he was intercepted 3 times. And the Giants win their 3rd game of the season. All I'm saying here, listen, this doesn't mean anything. DeVito is no part of the future of the Giants. But there is something about the will of a competitor. And I know, me personally, I've given him a tough time. But I was honestly impressed that he was able to do that. All kidding aside.
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, I mean, 246, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And to stand in the face of pressure and get sacked 9 times and still have that game, I mean, that's a competitor.
No, it definitely is. I mean, this is the type of guy who obviously did not expect to be playing for the New York Giants this season, starting, I should say. And, you know, he's definitely taking advantage of this opportunity and putting everything he has on the field. But that's what you're going to get, you know, with a quarterback who has this type of opportunity. I mean, yeah, maybe you could capture lightning in the bottle with DeVito here, but, you know, we'll see. I mean, it's Washington. You had a great game, yes. But again, there's a lot more issues within the Giants organization than just their starting quarterback. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another blowout yesterday. Dallas 33-10.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear? By the way, there was no hot water
yes,
in Washington.
Yeah, I did hear that.
So they, the Giants didn't have any hot water in the locker room.
Well, I think that's what the Giants
like for
won.
showers.
Like, oh, you're gonna. That was on purpose.
For the showers.
Who was it? Did the Celtics used to do that back in the day or something, Riley?
Yeah. Red Auerbach.
Yeah. Like that's pretty messed up.
Really?
Yeah.
We used to pull the fire alarm at like 4 a.m. before they play games too.
Stop
like
it.
the Lakers, like when Larry Bird and Magic Lakers, like when the Lakers would come to Boston, this Red Auerbach, who was the coach, would do anything. Like fire alarm in the middle of the night at the team hotel.
That's crazy.
He'd do the water, no water at all in the locker room. Like their faucets would be broken.
That's fucking hilarious.
I love that.
Yeah. But you're all for it, the gamesmanship, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No water for showers.
No water for showers, dude.
Or other stuff.
I think
Can't brush your teeth.
I don't think it would have mattered if the Cowboys didn't have a locker room yesterday in Carolina. 31-10. Bryce Young going down again. Dak 2 touchdowns,
Bryce
no
Young,
picks.
Dude.
You had the Cowboys running for 107 yards on the ground. 1 rushing touchdown for Pollard. CeeDee Lamb caught a touchdown as well. And we've seen this with Dallas. They play the weaker teams. They take care of business. This one really was never in question. A 17-3 halftime lead here. So Dallas goes to 7-3. But I think, they kind of fall in line, with some of the other teams we just talked about, where when the big game comes, against San Francisco, against Philadelphia, what are they going to do? And you look at their upcoming schedule, Commanders on Thanksgiving, that should be with ease. Seattle, which has struggled recently, but still a decent opponent. And then you have the Eagles, the Bills, Dolphins, Lions, Commanders to finish out. So we'll see them get tested down the stretch. And I think one thing that would be huge, and I know it comes, 5 weeks before the end of the regular season, but if they could beat on Sunday Night Football, December 10th, if they could beat the Eagles, I think that would be a huge confident boost because it's, like I said, that is the narrative. Dallas takes care of business, but when the going gets tough, where are they?
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of the same deal, I guess, with the Dolphins here, specifically when the first round of the playoffs. I mean, historically, they've just been one and done.
Yeah.
But they did look great. I don't understand. It's against the Panthers here. Tough with Bryce Young throwing that pick 6 too. Not much through the air. Only 123 yards or some odd.
Couple more grays for Frank Reich.
Yeah, I think so, dude. Poor Frank Reich. But I think in terms of Young, dude, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of someone who was like, oh, let's give his kid some more time because I feel like after week 3, they had him kind of written off. Like, he's not going to be good. But I mean, at this point, again, like I said, I was kind of like, oh, give his kid some more time. But it's just like,
he doesn't look great.
No, he doesn't look great, but
really looking great,
I think his situation around him kind of reminds me of the Jets, but even worse, I think, honestly. So if they could have a big offseason, I think we'll see the Bryce Young that we saw at Alabama. He doesn't have any time to throw.
Yeah.
He's a smaller quarterback. He needs bigger windows, and they're just not offering that right now. So we'll see what they do. San Francisco, their second straight win, 27-14 at the hands of Baker and the Bucks.
Wow.
Brock Purdy nearly flawless here. 21 of 25, 333, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 4 times. Christian McCaffrey, 78 on the ground. And also had a receiving touchdown, 5 for 25. Ayuk led the Niners in receiving, 5 for 156. And this defense turned over Baker once and sacked him 4 times. So a pretty, dominant win here for San Francisco. And we've really seen them right the ship after this 3-game losing streak. And I am impressed. I know it is the Bucs. They don't have a good secondary, good front, but not a good secondary. I am impressed with Purdy. I do think he's growing. He's gone through some growing pains this year. But I really do think when push comes to shove, he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in this league.
Yeah, dude, pretty crazy. His story, we've gone over a bunch, right? But like you said, three passing touchdowns, dude, to lead the 49ers here to a win. And that again, I feel like us included. I mean, I thought, the Bucs and Mayfield would kind of just roll over here, which they really didn't. They did kind of hang around, even scoring late in the fourth quarter. You're kind of thinking, oh, you never know here.
Had multiple chances to make a one-score game and have some people who tease the Niners not cover, but they weren't able to do so.
Yeah, but again, like for Purdy and the boys here to remain in the face of adversity and just look them down in the eye and win this game. You talked about someone like Tommy DeVito being able to stand in the pocket.
We love chewing ice on the show.
Brock Purdy does it as well as any young quarterback, especially being someone who is disregarded from every single team in the league from to do this.
261 picks.
Yeah, very, very impressive stuff.
Yeah.
To see him command and lead
dog,
an offense.
Though.
Dude.
He is a dog.
He really is.
He's
dude.
a dog.
18 touchdowns, 5 picks, QBR 77.1. That has to be amongst the league leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So San Francisco seems like they're back. And how about Purdy? You go back 4 games ago, he had a 2-game stretch, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Last 2 weeks, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he's rolling. We know the talent with San Francisco. And who knows? This could finally be the year that they break through and make it back to the Super Bowl.
I hope so.
And it's been quite some time since they've been there. And then 2 other games from yesterday, we saw the Rams hold on, courtesy of a Jason Myers missed 54-yard field goal, 17-16. So McVay, Stafford get off the schneid. They lose Cooper Kupp to an injury. But for me, and I know McVay, especially after a tough year last year, wants to win in the worst way, but you could tell by just watching this team, they're not going anywhere. So really it would be in their best interest to lose these games.
Yeah.
And it's just, you have to wonder what the future of this organization is, because McVay, after the Super Bowl was considering retiring. He comes back. They have 2, kind of rough seasons. Last year was rough. I mean, we'll see where this year finishes. But I don't know, what the deal is. You have to wonder, and I know it's more players than coaching, of course, but does McVay maybe need some time off, and does Stafford need to retire or go somewhere else? I mean, I think there's a lot of questions for this Rams team, and maybe they can finish strong. But I don't have too much confidence in them. I think they were gifted this victory.
Yeah.
I mean, the Smith injury as well.
There's a lot of questions for the Rams, but I mean, the Seahawks, dude, this is the game you have to win. If you want to be a serious team this year, you can't lose this game. And I understand Geno goes out. I understand Drew Lock comes in, but you're up by 14 points. Then Geno comes back, and your defense gives up the game in the fourth quarter. Then Geno comes back up for the last drive, and the play calling on that last drive, to get down to the 45 where they kick the field goal and then run the ball and waste 25 seconds off the clock.
Yep.
I didn't understand that decision at all. Then you could have at least got 10 more yards on a pass, spike it, and now you have a 45-yard field goal. Instead, you make Meyer take a 55-yard field goal. He was missing from 51 in the warm-ups. It made no sense to me to run up the middle. This is a game you have to win. It's a bad loss for them.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll?
I was just going to say, but Carroll always likes running the football, so I think that's why he did it. But is this really on Carroll? I mean, it seems like you would defend Carroll on this.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean,
what do you want? Drew Lock. I mean, what do you want him to do?
Drew Lock.
Momentary lapse here.
Yeah.
It's totally fine, dude. By the way, going back a little bit, I was just going to Brock Purdy stats. Leads the league in almost every quarterback metric, including QBR, quarterback rating, completion percentage, touchdown percentage, passing success rate percentage, and then a bunch of other ones that I don't even know. What's YPA?
Statman.
YPA?
Yards per attempt.
Oh, I don't know why you said Y, but I was thinking W. And I don't know why.
No, it's 2 Y's.
Maybe because I didn't finish the coffee yet. Okay?
Yeah. That would have chewed on ice too much, dude. And then they have AYA, YC, NYA, and ANYA.
Too many.
I know. Give me a
like
break
airport.
here. Honestly, yeah, really. It sounds like airports. Is right, dude. But anyway, Brock Purdy, very good. Go on, dude.
What do we think about Denver? 5-5, narrowly hanging on here against Minnesota. 21-20.
Did you have the over?
Sounds like Riley had the Vikings.
I had the Vikings.
Money line or no?
I had the Vikings for the biggest bet of the. It was a loss in the 1 o'clock window, loss in the 4 o'clock window. Let me throw it all on.
Wait, but money line?
Money line.
Oh, so the 2.5 would have been good.
But didn't I tell you the Broncos are going to win this?
I felt really good about the Vikings.
But
pick.
what did I say on Friday?
Okay, but it's different after you lose the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock window and you see the Vikings plus money and you're like, this is how you
Yeah,
can
I
argue
really
with
thought
that.
the Vikings would win.
They
I mean,
should have won.
Dobbs played okay, but once again,
They should have
Russ
won.
rallying the troops late, 27-35, a touchdown, no interceptions, sacked twice.
Sack?
And a late touchdown drive, kind of reminiscent of the old, Seattle days with Carroll, Tony. And Denver, finds themselves 5-5 after starting this year 0-3. So quite the turnaround. And that last drive, 10 plays, 75 yards, capped off by a 15-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to Sutton. And all of a sudden, Denver, in the thick of things here in the AFC, in second place in the AFC West. I think most people thought they would be at least behind Los Angeles at this point in the year. But I think Denver at this point has to be taken seriously that they could get into the playoffs. And listen, I think it's still, like we were talking about, maybe 70-80% of what Russ used to be. But at the same time, he's looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's getting the job done. So I think he does deserve to be praised for that.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, really, I don't know what more you could ask for from the guy. Like you say, he's getting the job done. Tough start to the season, and I mean, his production has been good, dude. Over 2,000 yards to the air so far, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
What do you want? What are we talking about?
I mean, that's really good, dude. We just went over every quarterback we talked about today has like 16 touchdowns with 8 interceptions. It's like he's been pretty efficient, dude.
He's been good.
He's been really good.
Any chance though he has a run in him,
like
win a playoff game or two,
a Super Bowl one,
or just advancing a little bit in the playoffs.
like a literal run.
Zero?
Really, dude?
Zero. They don't beat the Jaguars. They don't beat the Chiefs. Like,
will they even beat the Browns next week?
There's a good chance they don't. I mean, I also did think that. I mean, yes, Pat Surtain's good. I think the defense is shaky at times. I mean, I thought it just looked. I mean, the Dobbs is a cool story. I mean, he was awful last night at multiple times.
Yeah,
a lot of bad ball security. I will say that final drive when they had 3 timeouts and 1 minute and 5 seconds left to just go get a field goal was one of the worst 3 timeout end of game drives I've ever seen in my life. They didn't even get to midfield. It was awful.
Yeah,
awful.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, dude. I feel they could upset.
I mean, I do think they're not
dude.
bad though. Like you said, I think Russ is fine.
So what are they? They're 5-5 right
5-5. Browns next week. Let's go through it. So Browns next week, I think win though, but just because of the quarterback situation, I think it'll be tough. But I could see Russ leading him down the field.
Yeah.
Texans, I could see being a loss. So that's 6-6. I think they beat the Chargers 7-6, lose at the Lions 7-7, beat the Patriots 8-7. Probably split with the Chargers, so 8-8, and then beat the Raiders 9-8.
And that
seem feasible or not?
That probably gets you in.
I could see it maybe beating the Texans though, 10-7.
Could beat the Texans.
That AFC wildcard race is gonna be real.
But you wouldn't actually take them, would you? Or it depends what the line is.
Depends what the line.
What if it's just money line?
Wait, what did you say?
No, the Texans. They play at the Texans in 2 weeks.
At Texans, Broncos. Who are you taking? Money line.
Ooh, dude. Another one of those games that was Broncos are plus money in that game. You might throw a sprinkle on them to win that game.
I would. I think I would take the Broncos. I know CJ Stroud's tough, but again, interceptions. You never know. Creep it up. Creep. But again, looking at the Broncos. Yeah, AFC playoff picture here. Could they upset the Ravens, dude? Maybe if they're playing the Ravens. Ravens week 1.
Could they?
You never know. Ravens historically bad in the playoffs. Lamar, I should say.
But who would you guys take right now? Money line.
Ravens. Broncos week 1 playoffs.
Mile High Miracle.
I'd buy points. I'd buy points and have the Ravens beat them by probably 14.
I actually would take the Broncos. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Really?
In the bean, Tony.
Now all of a sudden you're taking the Broncos?
Yeah, I'm high.
That's it.
On the but and also, just looking at the playoff picture here. So right now, after yesterday's games, you're thinking wild cards here. Browns at the 5 at 7-3, Texans 6-4 at 6, and then Steelers 6-4 at 7. But then we have Bills at 8, 6-5, and then we have a few 5-5 teams here. the Colts, the Broncos, and the Bengals, and then the Raiders are 5 and 6. But looking at that, I feel good about Houston. I think Pittsburgh will fall out of the mix because they just can't score. Bills have a tough schedule, but I could see them finding a way in, and then maybe the Broncos, right or no?
Yeah, well, I think the Bengals are going to lose their spot.
Yeah, well, no, the Bengals are in 11th right now, so yeah, they're
so
not
they're done.
They're not going to make a run.
Yeah.
either.
Dunzo Paduro.
Tony was ahead of it, but he didn't know that Burrow was going to be out for the season, so we can't give him too much credit.
Yeah, don't give him too much.
But if we see Denver as the 7, they would play at Baltimore on wildcard weekend. So
Wow.
that would be interesting. You know, it would be a great game if everything stayed the way it is. Jacksonville hosting the Texans on wildcard
Yes,
weekend.
that would be fantastic.
That would be sick, dude. I would take Jags.
Yeah.
And then
Definitely.
any chance, the Browns, the defense, if Miami was hosting them, that they could stifle Tua and Hill, or
It's
no?
possible. Yeah.
They'd have to go Wildcat or something
I mean,
against Miami. It would be kind of symmetrical, right? After the wild card, Ronnie Brown back in the day.
yeah, dude. I guess so. I don't know. I feel like Myles Garrett can probably shut them down,
Yeah,
right?
But-
Did you see him picking up a helmet versus the Steelers, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!"
everyone was getting nervous again.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, listen,
That was hilarious.
he leads the NFL in
It's like,
sacks,
whoa.
so he's backing it up, right?
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. He's been having one hell of a year. So yeah, I think Browns defense could do damage against any team. Miami could be one of them too. Again, we mentioned Miami haven't really beat a good team this season yet. So it's
Until we see it.
nothing's a rollover.
Yeah.
Frauds.
And then right now in the NFC, Eagles at the 1, Detroit at the 2, San Francisco at the 3, New Orleans 4th, just because they're leading their division. Dallas with the first wild card, Seattle with the second, and then Minnesota with that last wild card. And then you think about the teams lurking, Tony. The Packers are 4 and 6, the Rams are 4 and 6, the Falcons are 4 and 6, the Bucks are 4 and 6. Do you guys think any of those 4 and 6 teams can jump back in the mix? I mean, I wouldn't say that Minnesota is cemented. I mean, I know it's went well up to this point, tough loss last night, but I think, it's possible maybe the Packers could get that last seed.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. I hate to say that though. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on Jordan Love though.
Yeah.
It really does.
6 touchdowns the first 2 games. I mean, you never know when that's coming back around, right?
I don't think it's gonna come back around. Dude. I don't know.
Hopefully it's exciting. Hopefully it's compelling. We'll see. Speaking of that, we have a doozy tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Eagles at the Chiefs. Monday Night Football here. Kansas City 2.5-point favorites. Obviously, this is the rematch of last year's Super Bowl.
Let's go.
And the total is set at 45.5. Is there any type of revenge in store here for Philly, or do you guys think Kansas City at home, trust in Mahomes, Tony, to get the job done?
I don't know. I don't. I mean, it's gonna be tough. Chiefs 4-1 at home, but the Eagles 4-1 on the road. I think Mrs. Kelsey will be in attendance, and this time I think she'll be, congratulating her other son on a victory.
Jason.
Taylor.
Taylor.
Will she be with Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Oh yeah, got it right. She'll probably be wearing the double jersey thing. She's got obviously Taylor gonna be wearing the Chiefs stuff.
Taylor.
You think Jason is a little jealous of Travis?
No, Jason has a great wife,
Oh, he does. He's married.
and she's like beautiful.
Why do you say that so surprisingly?
No, she's
Because he
cool.
looks like a lumberjack? You're saying?
Yeah.
What do you
No,
mean?
but
He's a
she's
great
like
guy.
cool. She's
He likes his flannels.
She's
right?
cool.
Yeah,
Does he
like
like his
the-
finals?
well, they had
I've
the
definitely seen him in some
You think
flannels.
so?
They had the reality show.
Really? Jason Kelsey with flannels?
Look up his wife. Look up his wife.
Yeah, you look at his wife.
Look it
dude.
up, dude.
All right,
Look it
I'll
up.
look
Look
it
it up. Look it up.
No, I'm looking up Jason Kelsey finals.
While Tony's doing some research on the flannels, Riley, I just kind of curious what you think here. I mean, just looking at this for me, it seems like Philadelphia. Did we get anything or not?
There's one picture of him wearing a flannel, dude.
And I mean that's more of a jacket, I guess.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
but
not-
when we did get the flannel, Tony, so I didn't make it up out of thin air.
Taylor Swift.
But what I was getting at is, I
you
think
think she's more beautiful than Taylor Swift?
No.
I do. I think that the Eagles have played like the better football team. But for whatever reason, I just think the Chiefs in these type of games seem to always figure out a way. I think it is going to be a field goal game.
It's fun.
And I think they are going to win. I think it's going to be relatively high scoring. But I'm thinking like a 31-28 victory for the Chiefs. I mean, what do you think, Riley?
I can see that. I hope it's up and down the field action. I think the Chiefs being at home is basically what changes this game. I think that they find a way, like you said, find a way to win games, especially primetime, especially at home. I feel like I've never seen them lose a primetime game at home since. Obviously, they lost Thursday Night Football first game of the season, but that was like to the Lions.
That was such a fluke.
Yeah.
You knew it.
Yeah.
Even though the Lions have done very well.
So it's going to be loud. It's going to be a Chiefs victory. It's kind of around what you said. I'm thinking high 30s, low 30s game kind of.
Yeah. What do you think, Tony?
I can see it being high flying.
You're going with the
here.
flannel?
Definitely gonna go with the flannel here.
You can take the Eagles?
He'll probably be I'm taking the Eagles.
Nice.
He'll probably be sporting a flannel, I would imagine, post game. It's probably
He loves his flannel.
Why not?
Kansas City's probably still a little chilly tonight, Actually, speaking of which, we probably should look up the weather report. But let's see, 48 degrees right now. So you're probably thinking like 35 come nighttime, dude. Definitely prime flannel weather. Jason's Kelsey's adorable family up there. It really is. It's great to see. I think Mahomes maybe throws like an interception, honestly, in the final 2 minutes of the game. Eagles win by 3, where the Chiefs could have won it, but the Eagles defense comes up big.
I think Mahomes chokes.
Hurts 325 through the air, 3 throwing touchdowns, 1 rushing. Mahomes, again, pretty equal, but that one underlying turnover late in the fourth quarter is going to kill the Chiefs. Travis Kelce's going to be a little upset. But Mama Kelsey will be there. It'll be a great little family affair for the Kelsey family.
As long as Mama's happy, right?
Do you think they stay in Kansas City for Thanksgiving? All of them.
That's
gotta
tough.
get back.
I'm pretty sure
Gotta get to practice.
I'm pretty sure they talked about that one year where the mother flew to both, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm just
For
saying.
Thanksgiving. No, I think that they don't. I think that they go home.
But why would
together.
they go home? If Kelsey's coming down to Kansas City to play, he brings his family down for the game to just stay for Thursday.
Yeah, I don't think so though. Travel with the team, dude, is not how that works.
Yeah.
Travel with the team, no family. And it's Monday, dude. They can tell me they can charter a private jet for the whole family and go back home wherever they're from. They're from Ohio, right?
They're not normal people.
They're from Akron. Are they from Akron? They're from somewhere, some shit-kicking city in Ohio.
Can I get some music?
They're from New Heights.
New Heights, Ohio, dude. From Ohio. So anyway, here, give me the Eagles. Are we making a pick here?
I'm updating, but yes, I'm going to take the Chiefs. You could have the 2.5 with the Eagles. But I think we all can agree this is going to be a great game, right?
Yes, I am very excited for some football Monday night. Let's go. The TV in the living room now.
Now, Riley, I was messaging you. I'm going to the basketball game tonight, so I'm not going to be able to really watch this. Maybe some of it on my phone, but would you be like upset that you couldn't watch it, or would you be okay because to see some good college basketball?
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with it, especially at the Garden. Never been to the Garden, so even then I'd be more pumped. What is the game tonight?
So it's like this mini tournament. The championship game is UConn and Texas.
Okay.
Both, UConn is 6. Texas is 19. Hung on against Louisville yesterday, who's going to play Indiana, who UConn beat. So Louisville, Indiana might be okay, but I think that UConn Texas game.
UConn Texas is worth. That is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'd be pumped.
Yeah, so I am excited for that. So we will see. I'll have to update you guys on that tomorrow. But before we wrap up here, let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle break. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink made the full split save.
Are you kidding me? Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pasternak.
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So I was, at the wedding on Saturday when the Rangers were playing the Devils and were able to win that game after the long layoff. And I just saw actually my dad commented.
Oh, Leon. Let's go.
Let's go to what do we got here?
We
Good
have a
morning,
touchdown.
guys. Hi, Brian. Listening as we were driving down to North Carolina.
Wow.
So
prediction
great
for
to
Jay.
hear from my parents there. Hope they have a safe trip to North Carolina. That's a
Oh,
big drive.
Thank you, Jay Bird.
Taylor won't be at the game due to concert reschedule.
Oh.
You have to keep up on these things. LOL. You know, we'll go to you guys for that information because that is something I'm not a privy to.
Yeah, no, neither am I.
Is your father a Swiftie?
No. But even my mom saw that movie or some documentary about it. So I know nothing about it. But there was some documentary
It's okay
that
if you saw it
goes
too.
that goes over, you know, the tours and
Right.
what goes into it. So I think that's why they know the information. But we'll leave that to them.
Okay.
I'm not too concerned. I'm more concerned about the play on the field and the Rangers with a big win. I was so pumped. I actually saw Stacks yesterday, and he was mentioning something about, you can go to the outdoor games this year, and I go, oh well, I heard the next time the Rangers play the Devils, the Devils won't show up because they can't beat them. And he's
Nice,
like, then
dude.
he goes, oh well, really? Did you watch the game? Oh well, if you watch the game, I mean, really, they won that game. I mean, the extra goal at the end. Oh, I mean, come on, yeah. Like, and I literally
He
just.
did not say that.
I didn't even say anything. I just started cracking up and just didn't even say anything.
That's
I
a
mean,
ridiculous statement, dude.
That, as Tony
that
would
is
say,
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous to say
I'm guessing
that.
you got to watch the game Saturday.
Yeah, watch the game Saturday night.
Excellent.
You know, Matt's birthday party.
The fire outside.
The
You got to
fire
watch it.
outside his
Thorn?
backyard. Thorn was there. You know, we had the TV going on in the basement. So obviously, like for the most of the game, we're in there sitting watching in the basement. But obviously, the fire was calling. So then the third period, you know, kind of like outside. But then obviously keep an eye on it on the phone. 10 minutes to go. Tie it back up. Let's go watch the game. Artemi Panarin. Let's fucking go, dude. I mean, Artemi Panarin is absolutely literally setting records. You know, he leads the team in the greatest, you know, game point streak of an opening season ever with 15 games now.
Unbelievable. The coaching.
It really is. It obviously has a lot to do with the coaching. It has a lot to do with the shaved head. I mean, I think what he has 27 points in those 15 games too. So it's not even just like he's getting a point here or there. He's dominating the ice here. Obviously having that big equalizing goal late in the third to tie it up. And then, of course, you know, Jimmy Vesey with that freaking crazy, like, backhanded goal. And then Blake Wheeler with the empty netter at the end there to make it 5-3. I don't really care, you know, what you say, what Stacks will say, but I mean, this was a great win.
Well, Tony, you know, I agree with you.
Oh, yeah, of course, dude. What Stacks will say, but this is honestly a great win by the Rangers here. It's an absolutely physical game. I think, what do we got? 52 hits, you know, over the course of the game from both teams. You know, the Rangers winning in the faceoff circle more often than not at 53.2%. Thank you, Vincent Trocheck. And of course, you know, one big faceoff win led to Panarin being able to score right there to tie the game. So that's huge faceoff wins. You know, last season we were not winning faceoffs in our offensive end. Out shooting the Devils 2 Stacks, 35-33. And of course, you know, having that one power play goal. And of course, limiting the Devils to just one power play opportunity too was huge. You know, the Devils had Jack Hughes back. I mean, and that really didn't phase them at all, blocking 19 shots. And yeah, I mean, they had some tough times as the Devils did make it tough for them last season in you know, in the postseason.
New year, baby.
The Rangers had some tough spouts, I guess, was trying to get through the neutral zone. But you know what, dude, it was those scoring opportunities the Rangers had, you know, that they didn't have last season that really made the difference here. Like I said, that Jimmy Vesey goal was great. I mean, I think the Devils are really starting to have now an issue at the goaltending position.
He was talking about that. He said they need to get somebody.
They do. They either need to get somebody or just figure out with what you have. I mean, you know, Vitek Vanacek, 882 save percentage over the course of the game. You know, obviously,
I just love that I was out in front of this, though. I said it going into the year. You can't flip-flop goalies and think mentally they're going to be okay.
No, yeah, you can't. And I mean, that's the one thing you just kept doing, you know, in that last series there against the Hurricanes. Every other game was a different goaltender. I mean, that does mess with your goaltenders. And then you have, assuming a good portion of their offseason, they didn't know who was going to get the bulk of the starts here. So, I mean, you know, the goaltending is just, and Riley, I'm sure will tell you too, it's just a huge mental game, you know, on top of it being physical. But yeah, dude, I mean, the Devils they just didn't have it. In the Prudential Center too, the crowd seemed mostly to be Rangers fans too.
I feel like it usually is.
Rangers have a bigger fan base.
They obviously do, but I mean, still, I mean, the Devils at this point, I mean, I understand last season may have been different because it's the postseason and all these fair weather fans, come out of the woodworks, Michael. But
well, think about it though. They want to make their profits on the regular season games, so then they can afford the postseason tickets, so they sell them to Rangers fans.
Perhaps. But still, I mean, you would have still expected a little bit more from the Devils fan base there. Certainly blew it. But yeah, dude, literally just a great game. Panarin again, taking so much into his own hands this season in terms of scoring goals. Trocheck with 3 assists, Jimmy Vesey with 2 goals there on that fourth line. Of course, we know Blake Wheeler with that 1 as well. All around great effort. I mean, yeah, you can still complain about your first line. Kreider, Zibanejad still on the score sheet there. But hey, they were +1 out on the ice. Can't really complain too much, I guess. It's a win. But you still expect more. Kreider 1 shot on goal, Mika 3 shots. I mean, you need more out of them.
Yeah.
Panarin had 2 goals, 9 shots on goal. I mean, he's taking a lot of the opportunities. Again, that's probably something that's more drawn up there, but still, I mean, it's great to see Panarin play so well. Trocheck, by the way, had a great. I mentioned the physical game. What up? 5 hits last night for a forward. Led the team in hits. Below that, Jacob Trouba, he had that big hit on Nosek. Absolutely just fucking came across ice, and Nosek was like rushing to the net and just totally shouldered the fuck out of him. And it was mad funny because Devils fans complaining, dirty hit, Trouba. Anyone who complains about Trouba having dirty hits is a pussy.
Well,
no, yes, dude.
He has some.
Every hit he's had, no, because any hit they complain about, it's shoulder to the fucking chest, buddy.
I agree. I think he has a lot of clean hits. I'm just saying, I think there's some mixed in, maybe not clean.
That's hockey.
Yeah, also, Riley, come on. At the end of the day, I mean, unless it's something egregious, it goes, and we know that.
Dude. And again, like, you want to, rough him up, try to fight him, that's totally fine. But I don't want to hear fans pissing and moaning, all right? Especially with the Devils, Scott Stevens.
Hey, Mike,
come on, the dirty
too.
hits. Yeah, exactly. The Bruins, Brad Marchand.
I like having a dirty team.
Exactly. You got to have a little dirty.
Yeah.
To appreciate
I
the
don't
clean.
like, though, the clean hits that people get pissed off about.
That's what I'm talking about.
No. I'm saying.
No. That's what I'm saying.
No. I understand. I'm saying the players, like when there's a clean hit on the ice,
the players
and then
get tight.
The play stops and everyone starts jumping each other, and it's like, dude, it was a clean hit.
Like play shouldn't stop.
Yeah, play shouldn't stop.
One other comment here from my parents. I guess my mother says she's doing the commentating while my dad is driving. I kind of figured so. You get a sense, like I'm sure with your mother, like the way that she types, like it's her versus if your dad was texting you, vice versa.
Oh yeah,
like, using each other's phone. So I kind of was out ahead of that. And also I was out ahead of the Devils. I'm telling you guys right now, I guarantee the Devils are not making the playoffs.
I don't know.
100%, dude. 1,000,000%. All
Put it in stone.
The Islanders have a better shot at making the playoffs. Now that's just ridiculous.
That is ridiculous, dude. It's not gonna happen.
Let's save the clip though, just in case. Right?
Yeah, save it.
But yeah, I mean, it's great time to be a Ranger right now. Igor too, I think tightened up after 2 in the first,
dude,
right?
Yeah. Again, that week layover for the Rangers, Igor getting banged up, first game back, dude. It really was great to see they didn't miss a step.
Yeah,
because that was my biggest worry. Was like that whole week off. They came into a Devils team with Jack Hughes, your best player, back on their starting squad here. And of course,
doesn't matter.
The Rangers still missing their best defenseman.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Which
matter.
Is great. Shows the strength of the team.
Literally,
and I can't wait for the
Vincent Trocheck
future matchups this year with Boston. Hopefully we get a playoff series as well.
Pumped for that game.
That would be great.
25th. That is Black Friday.
November 25th?
Yeah.
That is Black Friday.
In Boston.
In New York.
Oh, in New York. Okay, gotcha.
Is that MSG?
Is that MSG? I was just looking at some tickets.
Yeah, it was like minimum 200, but then by the time the fees, it's 232.
Oh, wait, so this is Friday. I'm gonna be in the city on Friday.
What do you got going on?
Christmas show with the
family.
Parents. Yeah,
just you 3.
And Angelina, my cousin.
Oh, okay.
Staying with us.
Yeah.
203.
Oh man, what are the chances you think I can just convince my parents to
sell your ticket or go to the game?
Go to the game, dude.
Wait, because do they like hockey or no?
They do enjoy watching hockey. I will say, I think next to football, that's probably the next best thing. My mother doesn't watching baseball so much. My dad obviously loves it, and then they both hate basketball. So.
What do you think they'll think of those presents? I mean, go to the Borgata the day
floor,
before.
Dude.
If you hit,
they're trying to go on fucking Sunday.
They didn't spike.
What?
Wait, I'm confused. What did you mean they tried to go on Sunday?
No, they're trying to go on Sunday.
Oh, they're trying to go to the board. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought you meant like they went yesterday and got like smoked at the table. So
Oh,
you
no,
said
no,
it.
no, no, no.
But the prices, I mean, it's ridiculous, Tony. It really is.
For the tickets?
Yeah,
I know,
it's
dude.
a disgrace.
Literally, like probably 4 of those tickets to the Christmas show is worth 1 ticket at the Garden.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody. You would actually get around this at the wedding. Somebody random that was a relative of the groom. Lives in Canada, okay? Goes to the Canucks games.
Oh,
and I was telling him,
yeah.
I was like, I don't mind spending $200 for
Yeah.
a ticket, but I don't want to sit in the 400
Yeah,
section.
yeah.
At least if it's 200, get me like seat level. It's ridiculous. And he was saying it's times were tough, so ticket prices have come down. Now you could go for $60-$70,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
a good seat. And then I was talking to him about the Islanders, how they're more affordable.
Right.
it's
You'd be an
just-
Islander
it's frustrating.
fan.
No,
The
no.
Canucks, though, good for him, dude.
Yeah,
Great year to be
he
watching
said-
some games.
Yeah, he's pumped.
Did
He's
you ask
pumped.
him about Thatcher Demko?
No, I didn't. But I said how the Islanders doing worse after the trade and all that. So he was wrong though.
Yeah,
Basically,
Bo Horvat, dude.
short of the story. So that being said, we do. Oh, by the way, to pick wise, very tight, Tony. 48-47. I'm in the lead here.
Oh my God.
We do have room though for 3 picks in the NHL. We could do our quick 3. I'm guessing
Quick 3, gotta be out.
The Stars are out in Dallas tonight for the Rangers.
The Stars are fucking away, dude. It's a cloudy night over there. No Stars out. The Rangers are coming into town. Gonna spank you around a little bit here in Dallas, Texas, American Airlines Center. Dallas here, obviously the home favorites, -135. I think the Rangers coming out. Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. It's Igor pitching his first shutout of the year, coming off the schneid, off the injury. The Rangers, Panarin with another goal tonight. BC, 2 assists off the score sheet.
Yes.
I'm feeling Blake Wheeler, maybe a 5-on-5 goal. And of course, Trocheck finding the net as well here. And why not? I'll throw Mika Zibanejad getting his 4th goal, 5th goal of the season, maybe, perhaps. Double checking me on that. Doesn't matter, though, because the Rangers are winning this game 6-0. Let's go.
Wow. And the Bruins, 6-0 on the road in Tampa.
Whoa.
We'll take out the Lightning here. I just think, yes, Tampa stayed afloat without Vasilevsky. But Boston will reign superior here at a Melee Arena, not American Airlines, but a Melee. So that's what I got for number 1. We got number 2. Number 2.
Yes, number 2, we're going to the Mullet Arena in beautiful Tempe, Arizona, baby, as your Coyotes are
Playoffs this
hosting
year, playoffs.
the Kings. I don't give a shit. All right, Arizona State University, whatever, dude. Coyotes are getting absolutely mollywopped by the Kings. The Kings have tremendous talent, and then on top of that, they're creative on offense. They find ways to score you don't even think of. So give me the Kings here tonight. 9 o'clock, NHL Plus, ESPN Plus. I think they beat the Coyotes here. I'll say 4-1.
Avalanche in Nashville, Tony, will take out the Predators, who are 6-10. Colorado -170. Cale Makar has 4 goals up to this point in the season. The defenseman with 20 assists. He has 2 goals, 2 assists. Another rout, another 6-0 victory here. As the Avalanche reign superior on the road today.
All right. My third and final pick here. Sharks. Go Sharks, dude. Thorn. No, actually, no. I'm not going Sharks. I'm going the heavy favorites in that game, though. We just talked about them. Vancouver, baby. Thatcher Demko may pitch a shutout himself tonight. Maybe his first of the season. Elias Pettersson over there on the Canucks, as well as the Cucks, as well as JT Miller, the Vancouver Cucks. Win this game 4-0. Thatcher. Let's go. Go ahead. Take him. Go.
I
Go
wanted
Oilers,
to, but we don't.
Oilers. Oh, wait. Who do you want to take?
No, I would have taken the Sharks, but I don't really want to go on the same game here. So I guess Oilers, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Like
Go ahead,
McDavid's youth coach. How about this? How about 4 goals for Mr. McDavid? Yeah. How about 4-1 Oilers at the Panthers with the victories at Amonrat Bank Arena? What are we not forgetting, Riley?
McDavid laughing here after 2 weeks. Who's gonna have more points? Right now, I think.
Oh, it's right.
Yeah, don't forget.
Who do we got?
I think McDavid has more points or no.
You don't know for sure, though.
No, I did a little check.
Yeah. Let's see Laffy tonight, Tony.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see. After tonight, we'll
right.
reconvene on tomorrow, I guess.
Yes.
I forgot today's Monday. I thought today was Friday. I felt like a Friday for a second with the music going, the picks,
music,
the screaming,
the
dude.
picks, the Rangers.
Let's go.
But honestly, What a show. What a marathon. Covered a lot of ground here. And once again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, checking out all the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, merch at downtimetv.com. Shout out to the company. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.